Hello, very good afternoon, good evening, good morning, good day to you. Welcome to another live stream with me, 320 Sim Pilot. Today we are taking the Antonov 225 for a flight from here in London Heathrow over to Frankfurt Hahn, a sort of outside cargo airfield that does have a nice long runway. And yeah, it should be really interesting. I've been looking forward to this one. This is a really remarkable add-on, and it's unique in so many ways, so it should be good fun to take a look at it. I know you might have seen a lot of streams and videos with this aircraft. I've already done a video with it as well, but some people said they'd like to see a stream with it, so here we are. I thought, why not? I think it'd be good fun, and we can explore it in a little bit more detail. I was actually quite excited to find a few tips in the comment section from my last Antonov video, or my only Antonov video. Let me just bring that that section up actually, and I'll have that comment ready to go, because somebody basically gave a big tutorial in the comments, which is really handy. So yeah, let me just find that. But yeah, I hope you're all doing very well. Thank you for coming along today. Let me just grab that comment. Where has it gone? Sorry about this. I did remember it, and then I've suddenly realised I obviously did not get it ready to go. Because I was using it yesterday to practice. Okay, I can't find it now, but that's no problem. I will find it later. But yeah, it should be good fun. The first officer is joining us. There we go. Okay, I've got the comment. It's from Josh. So, excellent. Right, I hope you're all doing very well. Great to see you here. So Chris asks, will this be on VATSIM? This will be on VATSIM. So let me just post it, actually. Something else I haven't done is put it into Discord. So just say the route on there. Now, it has to be VOR to VOR. You could use the GPS system, but we're going to go VOR to VOR for today, just to make life complicated. So let me just put that into Discord. The route is available. If you put into the chat ! route, it will bring it up. Hello. So let me just bring up the route. Effectively, we are doing the simplest route. It's only an hour flight, but obviously it might take us a bit of time to get going and get everything set up properly. Yes, hello. Thanks for joining us. Let's do that. And let's just give everyone a link to Twitch if they want to join us. Sorry about this. And you know, something I was meant to be doing before to stream. I was sitting there going, this all seems very relaxed. Good. Right, that's up and running. So let's have a look. So Just Eddie, evening to you over on Twitch. Thanks for joining us. Chris Smith, yep, we will be on VATSIM indeed. Going VOR to VOR, so we're going from Detling to Coxey to Dietrich to Frankfurt Hahn. Paul Kemp, good afternoon to you. And Mr. Espresso says, so this Antonov 225 has call sign super in the suffix, I suppose. How does it compare to the A380? It has a higher landing weight than the A380, so it is a heavier overall aircraft. The numbers are ridiculous all around. So if we go to the weight page for it, which for some reason has disappeared. There it is. Right, so yeah, empty weight of this is 285 tons. I mean, it's hard to get your head around, isn't it? 285 tons. And its maximum zero fuel weight is 543 tons, 500 kilograms. So, I mean, it's the weird thing of aircrafts as they get bigger and bigger and bigger. And I mean in the sense that as you go up the scales, my frame rate, by the way, utterly atrocious. Don't know what's going on today. It's really bad. But yeah, they go up, sort of, the weight doesn't go up in proportion to the size. They get heavier and heavier. I mean, if you look at the wingspan of this, yes, it's two A320 widths, maybe something like that, but it's not double the weight of a 320. It's 500 tons heavier than a 320. It's amazing. It is amazing. So it is an absolute beast, obviously. Hence, it's got those 6 turbofan engines, and yeah, sadly, it has of course been destroyed. So all the proceeds, if you do buy this from the Microsoft Marketplace, go towards Antonov Corporation to rebuild it, because it was destroyed while having an engine change or an engine fit. Which is a real shame. So hopefully they make some progress with that. I believe it's all in the plans. But yeah, let me just get that drone just load down a bit. So yeah, I'm not going to do. I'm going to cheat. I'm not going to do the full cold and dark startup. I have not had the chance to learn it, I'm afraid, but we will use it. Like I say, using the VOR tracking and so on as best we can, and try and get the essence of it. Andy H132, good to see you. Thanks for joining us. I hope you're doing very well. J-Dog says, for software is making a racket. Yes, she is indeed. Mateo Chewy, I hope you're doing well. Thanks for joining us. Great to have you here. And Dougal, thanks for coming along. Dougal says, not well today, so this is great to watch from my sick bed. Sorry to hear it, Dougal. Hope you feel better soon. And thanks for joining us. MSJN says, more takeoffs in the background. Yeah, so this is, I've got FS Traffic and VATSIM, and they're just very noisy. They are very noisy. Mr. Espresso says, just imagine the amount of lift those wings have to generate. Yeah, it's quite remarkable. It's quite remarkable. The horizontal stab wingspan is almost the same as the 320, says Mr. Planner. Yeah, there you go. And famously, of course, the A380 stabilizer operates with as much lift force as the 320 wings do. It's just a different sense. Pebbles is a stream after the F1 race. Yes, we managed to go after the race today. Just about. Ebos, I hope you're doing well. Thanks for joining us. And Lloyd, good to have you here. And yeah, I did. Duvany asks, did you notice the VS control knob is painted like an HSI? Yeah, it's very good. Very good. Clever little detail they've done there. Right. It's super in the suffix. Right, let me remember that. So it's Antonov Bureau. Well, I've got Antonov Bureau written down as a call sign, but if anyone can correct me on that, please do, because I'm not 100% certain on that. I've been struggling a little bit. But it'd be Antonov Bureau 330 Super, which would make sense, because, of course, we are going to be ridiculously heavy. So it is a vast aeroplane, obviously, and pretty, the only one with 3 engines on each wing. What I like about it is it's a surprisingly pretty aircraft for its purpose. It's very, it's a utility-focused aircraft. It was built with a very specific purpose in mind, and that was the Soviets wanted an aircraft to lift their version of the space shuttle, the Buran spacecraft. So they commissioned this, and here it is, and it's spectacular, but it's surprisingly pretty. The front maybe a little bit bulbous, but not to fault, I would say. But I really like the wings, the sweep on the wings, and I love the tail section. A lot of airplanes don't have particularly interesting tails, but this is fantastic, and it's built with the two-in boom sort of setup for the reason that if you were to put a space shuttle on the back of it, it would disrupt air over the tail fin. So if you notice, the NASA used a 747-200. They had a tail fin in the middle, but they put stabilizers on the outer part to sort of counteract the same thing. But there you go. Flight Dispatch 320 is flying along next to us in the BA320. There we go, over there. Excellent. Thanks for flying along. We're not on multiplayer, Yoki, this time. This does have super in the call sign. Excellent. Mark S says, hello, been a while. I just wanted to come say thanks for all the education you've done. As of yesterday, I'm a private pilot. Next step to buy my own Cessna. Wow, fantastic. Any advice for a new pilot? It's a big question. I would just, it's a bit cliche, but it's hopefully something I'm sure you already know, which is just keep learning, because the license is just the very, very tip of the iceberg, and now there's going to be so much to learn, and there's lots of ways to do that. But keep learning and keep on top of it. You don't want to, especially as a private pilot, you don't want to just be nervous in your airplane or just about managing. If you can just keep yourself active, and just constantly trying to pick up new things, or even just getting really confident with what you are doing, and avoid the temptation to suddenly rely on certain things that make life easy, which is great, but you want to know underneath what's going on, just so you have some confidence in your own abilities as well. But yeah, so we are on ramp 1 at Heathrow, which is pretty cool, and it was pretty much one of the only, this is a cargo sort of area I think at Heathrow, and we just about fit in the stand. Really nice visual model. It's a shame it's a bit gloomy today. This is live weather, obviously not live time. It would be getting a bit dark now. But yeah, it's a really nice visual model. I think any builders have just done a great job. We've got nice wing flex. You can see the rivets, there you go, as you move along. And lots of little details they've included. So yeah, very nice indeed. They've done the landing gear really well. And you'll see the rear gear does steer like it does in the real aircraft. 747 has that. Not many other aircraft do. 340, 600 doesn't. And the 777s don't, but yeah. Also, we're obviously kneeling, so this is in the position to load up some cargo. So we're going to load on something fun and then take it over to Frankfurt. Yeah, really nice. they've captured some of these great details, like the specialist tow bar. So obviously you couldn't use this pushback tug. We are indeed on VATSIM. Yeah, you would need to use this tow bar to connect to both those separate nose gear. They got lots of spare wheels because there are a lot of wheels for tires to burst. There's a ladder up there which folds down and then you can get up into the flight deck. It's great, really cool. Really like it. And what an interesting machine. Oh, that's a pretty good go around. Yeah, what an interesting machine to see replicated. And it's surprising how little we've seen of it in flight simulators over the years, actually. It didn't really occur to me, but perhaps due to the difficulty of operating it. But let me just try and clear out this mouse problem. There we go. So when it kneels, this happens, which is you obviously end up above the top. So we have to go and check in the by using this view here. So let's load in. I was going to load in the 18-wheeler. Load cargo. So that's now active. So if we go outside, I'm hoping we can see it. There it is. Awesome. Look at that. Quite impressive. Now, why you'd want to suddenly fly an 18-wheeler around, I don't know. I'm sure there's plenty of them all over the place. But here we go. Yoki says, rarely these are this type of aircraft, this good quality. Exactly, yeah. It's a nice treat and a very reasonable price, I think. Alex asks, do you ever think you'll venture into long-haul flying? I hope to, yeah, I hope to one day. Absolutely. Rabbit747 says, I walked inside the aircraft in 1990 when I was working at Farnborough. The damage it did to the lights on every takeoff was funny. The airfield ground staff had to replace lights after some runs. Yeah, I bet they did. Because these are powerful engines, you know. It's 6 engines, but for its weight, that doesn't seem like too many. So yeah, it's definitely going to have some oomph behind it. And when you get large aircraft fly to smaller airports, like Virgin used to send a 747 into Glasgow. I don't think they don't have them anymore. But yeah, when that landed there, it used to throw up mud and things sometimes onto the taxiways. But yeah, Darren says, we've seen how a 737 pilot does it. Let's see how an Airbus driver gets on. Oh dear. I doubt, I know for a fact Flight Deck to Sim will have done a more thorough job learning it than I've managed. So I can already apologise for that, for my representation of Airbus pilots. Yeah, so good. That's done. So what we can do now is close up. And I've got it set to fast. So this is a really, really slow process. It runs in almost real time. It takes like 40 minutes or something like that to do the whole process normally. But you can set it to speed up, which is pretty good. A really nice feature. Following last week's stream, BMI Virtual has 115 pilots, 79 pilot reports, and 100 hours flown. Massive thanks for your help. You're very welcome, Andy, and thanks for putting the effort in to set those up. I'm sure those people who are flying with you really, really enjoy it. Fantastic. Yeah, great to hear it's doing well. £51,500 thrust per engine, says Any Builds. Fantastic. Great to see you. I hope you are doing very well. And thanks for coming along today. But yeah, it's a monster, an absolute monster. So it's some of the, you see videos of some of the Antonovs getting airborne and they sort of struggle. This one doesn't seem to. The only question I've got that I've been struggling with, and there you go, this is great by the way, the way it kneels. I really like how they've animated this and the wheels roll backwards. But yeah, obviously much, much, much slower if you don't have it sped up. But I've got it sped up so just so we could do this part of the stream. On stream, wanted to show it load, obviously. But yeah, it doesn't seem to struggle like some of the videos of Antonovs that you do see, but you know, weather conditions and so on permitting, all these things could be very, very different. Ralph Skopirian, good to see you. I hope you're doing well. Here's a question. Was the thumbnail working for everyone? Looks to me like it's not, potentially. That's frustrating. That is frustrating. No, okay, it's working fine. But yeah, Any Builds, thanks so much for coming along. And yeah, really great work on this aircraft. It's an absolute treat and so easy to recommend. It's great to see where the proceeds from it go, but also it's so nice. What a treat to have this finally modelled in a flight simulator and to this level. Very, very happy about that. Moxian, good to see you. They said I have got to get used to using VATSIM again. I got a little frustrated with the Unicom and consistency of availability. No, it does change a lot. it does change a lot, but you get used to that. I often get relieved when there's on Unicom. It gives me options to make up what I'm doing. Phil Norbert, good to see you. Thanks for joining us. I hope you're doing very well. I don't know if GSX works with this. It's a good question. It's a good question. I have not tried it. I don't have GSX installed right now. Here's a new bug with Microsoft Flight Simulator that didn't used to happen. You can now go through the floor. I won't go too far in case I crash it, but yeah. That's a new one on me. Is that sea level down there? 320 driver, good to see you. Yeah, it looks like, I think that might be water. GSX does not work with this aircraft. There we go. Right, here comes the nose. And now it's lifted up. We can jump into our seats. There we go. Now, thankfully, they have given us a couple of other accessibility options for this aircraft, which it really does need, which is the option to start it up sort of quickly, and also they've got the built-in checklists done, which is fantastic. I'm not going to... Oh, by the way, I love this little detail. This little flap here that opens up so the nose can hinge. That's great. Look at that. Look how small the pilots are. And there it goes. Very satisfying. A big puzzle. But yeah, there we go. So it's just ridiculous, isn't it? Vast. I'd love to see this. I'd love to have seen this in person. I hope it does return and that we can see one brought over to an air show and sent around the world. But yeah, I saw it once in real life, but not up close. It was taxiing around whilst we were there. But yeah. Any builds and stuff 124 when, asks Alex. There you go. Any build says, thank you. Not seen anyone brave VOR to VOR yet. Oh, goodness me. Well, we shall have fun with that. Hopefully it'll work. I practiced yesterday and I got it to follow some VORs and at least the localizer of the RLS. The RLS is definitely I haven't got it to fly glide slope yet. But yeah, I just think it looks great. It's, like I say, for a utility aircraft and a cargo one at that, it is on the sleeker, prettier side, definitely, which is really an achievement. Look at it. Just gorgeous. Really nice. Tilted Blunder says, it looks like a plane which gets photoshopped to look bigger. Yes, very good. Yeah. Daniel says, next is going to be A380. Anybuild says, not next, but it's still a project on Upbooks. There you go. Paul says, finally took the plunge and managed my first proper VATS in flight. Vienna to Heathrow yesterday. It was absolutely terrifying. Excellent. But now, every time it'll get easier now. Right, anyway. So that is us loaded up. And then you can walk in. I wonder, now we've closed up, will it lower that ladder inside? I think it has, yeah. So obviously that has to move out of the way. And I love that it has its own crane inside as well. Look at that. So you go up the ladder. My drone's a bit slow. And then there's that little crane for loading things. I say little, massive crane. Good stuff. Okay. Now, let me jump inside. We can turn up the audio a bit and get away from the sounds of the screaming traffic. And here's where I'm going to make a confession, which is I have not managed to learn the startup procedure. So I'm not going to do it today. We're going to fly it as best we can, and we're not going to use a GPS, but there's 74 items in the fuel and hydraulic setup. And for all I know, yes, it's amazing that they've done this. So, you know, they've put it all here, but for all I know, I'm going to do all this and miss something. And I haven't had a chance to practice 74 items, but you can see it's just a lot of buttons off and on in the right position. And these are all highlighted, which is fantastic work by any builds. Because of course, as you can see, the text is not forthcoming. I sort of imagined when I heard that there was going to be the option to put the text in English, I thought, oh, it'll be all of them. But of course, that's not quite what happened. Wouldn't be very faithful to the aircraft. But what you can do is in your options, you can put it to copy language to English, and that's going to give you just little things like the VOR light, the warning lights, the warning panel down here. And just a few little details like that. You can also get rid of the yoke, obviously, as you need to. So, yeah. So, if you are like me, let me just look in the comments and see how much anger I've generated by saying that I'm not going to do it the full cold and dark way. Let's have a look. Mike says, it's certainly different from the Beluga. That looks like it has a growth on top of it. Yes. The Beluga, I really like the Beluga. I really like it. I like looking at it because it's interesting, but this is very pretty by comparison, indeed. Indeed. Right, let's have a look. Velocity Motorsport says, I watched that land and take off at Houston. Excellent. Excellent. Good. So, what we'll do is go to dashboard. And I haven't actually used this yet, so I'm not going to load it from the GPS. But can I type it in? How does this work? How can I generate a flight plan in here? Looks like we can't unless we load it from the GPS, which I'm not going to do. So that's no problem. We don't need it. We're going to use VATSIM anyway. We've got the cargo loaded. You see it says not in loading configuration. You can't change it once unless you put the door down. Let's close up the cabin door, so we're pretty much ready to go. We don't need the lights on anymore. So I'm hoping that means the payload is set. So current weight, fuel weight, max weight 640 tons. Current weight is 458 tons. We've got the load, passenger weight 0, cargo weight 40 tons. Pretty light, really. Fuel, we've got 156 tons of fuel. Now, I needed 39 tons of fuel. So I think we've got enough fuel. So I might reduce that slightly. Weight set by loaded cargo, unload to manually configure. That's fine. How do I adjust the fuel? That is not something I considered. We'll just add a few passengers though. 4 passenger cabin can take 16. Cargo weight 40 tons. Fuel weight. So the fuel weight's very high. Anyway, we'll apply that. Yeah, interesting. How do I do the fuel? No matter whether. Okay. Well, what we're going to do is I'm going to start it up with this ready to fly button, and like I say, we'll be sitting at engines running, but that will at least give us time to load up the aircraft as we want it for our departure. The only thing I'm going to do before we do that, just to be slightly efficient, is to grab the VATSIM ATIS. So there is a controller here at Heathrow. Heathrow are departing from runway 27 left, departure runway 27. Oh, hold on, arrival 27 left, departure 27 right. Oh no, we have to cross the runways then, I think. And this is using information X-ray. Information X-ray, departing 27 right, surface wind is 3005. Pretty calm, really. And we've got 10 k's or more. Temperature 5. Very importantly, QNH 1014. Now, another really useful thing about this is we're going to have to convert everything. The man to call sign is MXZ, Lukey, if you're going to use that. MSGN says stream will be an hour longer. Exactly. Miguel said, any build said they are working on a complete English cockpit. Oh, interesting. Very interesting. Yeah, I think they've done a nice job, though, making it so accessible here. Yes, if any builds are listening, I absolutely love the Ini Beluga. I love the Beluga. I've used it a lot in X-Plane 11. I really miss it. Please can the Beluga come to X-Plane 12 or Microsoft Flight Simulator, or preferably both. That would be really great. I'd love to see the Beluga return. I absolutely love that add-on. That's the one I use the most before the A310. Yeah, really great. Good. So, QNH 1014. We go to the converter, and then we can put in, it's in hectopascals, 1014. Then you've got to remember to click off, and there we go. All the other ridiculous settings that aren't hectopascals. And of course, we can cheat to Microsoft Flight Simulator and just press the B key and get it set right. And here we go. It starts to get complicated. So let's load up the aircraft and get some electricity going. Sorry, everyone. I don't normally do it. You know I don't normally do it. We did Concorde properly. We did 747-200 properly. DC-6 properly. But this is such a great feature. It does have a version of the flight directors. Indeed, sort of around the outside of the artificial horizon, you can see it more often. What's also interesting is it has a sort of Western artificial horizon, not the style where you get just the aeroplane moves, which you do see on some things like the L-39. Daniel B says, use the chart with the 748-380 taxi routes. There are places where you won't be able to taxi. Yes, well, speaking of that, whilst it starts up, I suspect... Oh, that's going to... Actually, that is a good point, because I had a look at some of the charts. And we're going out via Detling, so let's do that. Let's bring up Detling 27 right. What is all this? I've not seen this before. Oh, the frame rates. We are struggling here. Innie says, feedback noted. Excellent. I'm glad to hear it. Yeah, I really hope to see the Beluga return. Dan Vosa says, very kindly, tip $3. Dan Vosa says, hello, pilot. I hope you are having a great day. Just a question. In the cinematics you sometimes do, is that just the drone cam with reduced speed, or is there other things you change? Really appreciate the content you make for the community. Thank you so much, Dan Vosa, for the very kind $3 tip. Really appreciate it. That's using the drone. I just use the drone camera. That's all I do. And it's zoomed in and slowed down. I keep meaning to make a video on that. I do get asked that quite a lot. But I'm not very good at technical videos when it comes to sort of simulators and so on. So taxiing A380, which is a great idea, so thank you for that. Unfortunately, we're starting here, so we've failed. And the reason is you can't actually go down here. Now, I've practiced this, and I can do this by moving to the left side of the taxiway. Now, whether Heathrow lets us do that, we shall see. But yeah, that's the cargo apron we're on, and then we'll head down and have to cross over at some point to get all the way over there. So it's going to be a slow old taxi, but luckily, how's she doing? I think she's ready to go, pretty much. Nice. So, let me turn up the audio a little bit. You tell me if you can hear everything. And the stress of the stream is overheating me already, so let's have the fan running. And what I'm going to do is, I'm actually going to put the landing lights off. Beacon on, logo on, strobe lights off, nav lights on, fuselage lights on. Now, hopefully that is a more sensible sort of sitting on stand configuration. Good. Divani says, did you see that the control wheel for the vertical speed is placed like a shot? Yes, I did indeed. Yeah, so that's here. This is vertical speed control. Here's our meters. Another thing I really recommend doing, which took me a while to find because I didn't think very hard, is autopilot altitude window. Set it to 100s. It's not as precise, but it takes forever otherwise, as it does with the V app. Now, I'm actually going to set that straight to 250 for our sort of departure speed. So we are engines running, but this is just how it's going to have to be today. So 463 kilometers per hour. And click again. Scared myself there. And even this one's very slow to use. Chris Smith, to walk around, I use the arrow keys, but I've set them to sort of translate view. Lazarus says, I'll follow in observer mode, not confident enough for Heathrow traffic. Well, we'll see how I do. I might get in trouble instantly because I didn't think to look at the 380 chart. Thank you again, Dan Boza, for the tip. Really appreciate it. Daniel B says, I'd love to see a Beluga XL that was based on the A330. Yes, that too. I would take a Beluga XL. There'd always be a special place in my heart for the original Super Transporter, but an XL as well would be great. Innie, of course, has the advantage with the older Beluga because they have their A310, very similar flight decks. 463 kilometers now. Keep forgetting 463. Here we go. Good. Okay, and our Detling departure, let's set up so that is ready to go. So 27 right. We go out to 2 miles from the London VOR 1136, left turn 136 to the Epsom NDB, and then another left turn and take 091 degrees to Detling. So let's see if we can do this. Now there's a lot of configuring you can do to the instruments in the 225. It's quite impressive. You can set this, and I barely understand, but you can basically swap which VOR you're looking at on the HSI. It's quite clever. I've not seen that done in that way before. Land mode, nav mode. I shouldn't be pressing these things because I'm probably going to mess something up. Anyway, we have our NDB displayable up here. So what I'm going to do, and this is our DME. So it's all here. It's not actually as different as you think. The frustrating thing is tuning, because of course you'd have a nav sitting here to tune these things for you. Dave says, is it too soon to ask for a power back? I've tried powering back. It doesn't really work. I was wondering if we'd have to do that. But anyway, this is our nav course. So that's not what I want. I need to go to the NDB panel up here. So we need Epsom 316. And we do it like this. 3, 1, 6. And that's good. We want the London VOR 1136. 113. And what I do like is it does have the auto tuning. No, sorry, it's not auto tuning, auto identifying. 1136, and now it should display London. There we go. And then the course, we're going to take 09. Sorry, we're not doing a course for London, but we are eventually going to take the 091 inbound to Detling. So I'm going to put 091 in the course now, so it's ready to go. easier to click and drag in this airplane. It works really nicely until you go too far. Oh, and then you go too far the other way. And the other way. 091, there we go. I'm going to tune the same thing in VOR2 because I haven't quite decided how I'm going to use it yet. So I have 1136 and 091. So what's good about this is you can really swap around the nav sources as you want them. It's a bit pointless, really. Oh no, what I'm going to put here is 1173. That's what I'm going to do. I have it ready to go. Because I think, let me get my head around this. So DME2 displays down here. It does not display over here. So that's going to be easiest. Let's have 1136 on this side because I just need the DME from that. We'll have course 091 ready in case I want it. If you're following this, you're doing better than me. Right, and then we're going to have the Detling VOR over here at 1173. Of course, I'm going to do all this and air traffic's going to clear us for something different. That's happened many times. Yes, hello. The real thing couldn't actually track VORs. They were advisory only in the real unit. Oh dear. Oh, well, maybe I should. Maybe I shouldn't be doing it like this. But well, we certainly can't use a GPS unit. But I will have it displaying just in case it helps at some point that find the VORs. I don't know why the first officer is complaining. She has been fed, I promise. So 091, 1173. That is going to be what this leg. So we got that covered already. 136 we're going to do manually by looking at the needles over here. So this ADF 1 is that thin needle that is pointing to the Epsilon NDB, and the DME from London VOR is displayed over here, currently 1.5. So we're going to go straight ahead, 2 miles, left turn, 136, which I'm going to do by flying from this, and then I'll get it into sort of heading mode, and then I'm going to turn at the NDB onto 091 and inset the 091. So to do that, I put this to VOR 1 like that, and you can see the course 091. If I go to VOR 2, it's the same because it actually has it tuned. Sorry, it has the same course set. Because this course up here, this is the course, but it's set by that panel by my shoulder. This is the DME in kilometers, amazingly. But there it is. So we're 2 kilometers away. But that is, of course, based on the London VOR, which we're not using. So I'm going to leave that on VOR 1 for now. Because I could convert kilometers to miles and then do it like that, but I'm just going to mess it up at that point. And also their conversion is feet. Yeah, there we go. Anybody says, ASCAN, a little convenience feature we plopped in along with the auto thrust. Yes, excellent auto thrust on this. I like it a lot as well. Ola says, rating out of 10. This is a great aircraft. I haven't used it enough. I don't want to give it a rating, but it's great. Like I say, there is enough going on here that you can't. You're not going to find it too simple, especially given what a fantastically strange machine it is in so many ways. Like there's the amount of switches you can hover over and click on. The APU starts and so on. I haven't tried a cold and dark, but I suspect it's possible. Good. Stumco, good to see you. I hope you're doing well. Thanks for joining us. Right, so VOR1 is here. The DME for VOR1 is here. That's not going to be used initially. We're going to look over at this DME. Once it gets to 2.0 after takeoff, we make a left turn, and then we're going to track 136 using this needle over here to the NDB Epsom 316. Let's just check that it's tuned. I think that's in a sensible position, but that's up there. 316, yep. And then we're going to get to that and make a left turn. We're also going to climb to 6,000 feet. So let's put that in the window. As you can see here, we've got a limit of 6,000. So, altitude conversion, please. Distance, 6,000 feet. It's 1,830 meters. Now, I'm just going to go to 1,800 meters. So there's 1,800 meters. This is sort of our altitude window. So that's 250 knots at 6,000 feet. Leave the switch in night position because otherwise it turns the lights off, which is very disappointing. Has Cloudbot had enough, is it? Let me just try and wake it up. Hopefully that will work for you now. Just checking through Josh's comment because Josh gave us lots of great advice on the YouTube video for this. Throttles, yeah, so we got throttles 1 to 3 and 3 to 6. And yes, I'll talk about the automatics as we go, but you've got like this VEL button. This is sort of like level change where it climbs at the speed you've got set. What it does is every time you change mode in the air, it's going to revert to pitch and roll hold effectively, and then you need to re-engage it in the mode you want. Auto thrust button there, which works quite well. And you can see here VOR2 is tuned to 1136, and if I drag it left, VOR1 1173. It's just a display as far as I can tell this though. which is quite interesting. We also do have a radio altimeter. I believe it's this. Now, other instruments I'm not so sure on. NY, Alpha, is that angle of attack? I don't know for sure. Good. So, here's a bit of fun I didn't think of, which is how on earth am I going to tune the radios on VATSIM? I really could have done with thinking of that one. Yeah, okay. The radios are behind my shoulder. Let me just grab who we're going to speak to. We've got the ATIS, and then we've got Heathrow Tower.
Russell Center, this is Speedbird 142, do you copy?
Heathrow Tower, 118,500. 118.5. Okay, let's put that in. Oh, interesting. I'm just changing the active. 118.5. Now I'm doing this in my Logitech panel. I'm curious to see if this works. I honestly thought we'd be on the way by now. We've got a long taxi to go. 185. I also want to change the fuel. We're a bit heavy. 185. Where's Com 1? Because the 185. There's the radio engineer. So there's Nav 1. I mean, Com 1. So yeah. Luckily, it works on my panel.
Once the company Airbus A321 has passed left to right, stand 518, push and shuttle through, face north.
Right. How's the audio for you guys? Let me know.
Right, stand 518, face north, 555, Charlie.
Speedbird 36.
And yeah, An-225 Bureau 330 Super. Happy with that, everyone? I think that's a good call sign. I'm going to struggle with that, I'm sure.
Squawk 6322.
They don't know where engines are running.
Great again, the Captain 3 Foxtrot departure, squawk 6322, Speedbird 360.
3663, back correct.
That I stop connected to?
Speedbird 11. You should be with Unicom 1.
VHF 1 on the overhead. Thanks, Anybuilds. There, yeah. Okay, much easier. 185, perfect. Okay. Heathrow, good evening. An-225 Bureau 330 Super, stand 1. An-225 225. We've got information X-ray, QNH 1014, request clearance, Frankfurt Hahn.
An-225 Bureau 330, Heathrow Tower, hello. Information Yankee now current. You are cleared to Frankfurt Hahn. Detling to Foxtrot departure, 27 right, squawk 7244.
We'll grab Yankee, thank you. And we're cleared to Frankfurt Hahn, Detling to Foxtrot, 27 right, squawk 7244. An-225 Bureau 330 Super.
An-225 Bureau 330, Heathrow back correct.
Good. We can drop the Super now, I think, because he's dropped it. Detling to Foxtrot, let's just check this one. I had it in mind. To Foxtrot, yeah, 27 right, that's the one. Oh, it's happening. Here we go. Let's get that fan pointing right at me. So happy they did the fan. That was what convinced me when I saw that in the was available in it. I thought, well, that's a no-brainer. It's got to be done. Yeah, parking brake on. You see, is in English because of that setting I've got. And here's the transponder. So 7, 2, 4, 4. Normal. Set above. TCAT. Let's just put it on. Oh no, that's TCAT, right. Let's have out of star. I don't know what star means. I'm just going to turn it on now. Then we'll put it to TARA later. Right, time for pushback. It's Kev says, now this is a plane that benefits from a shared cockpit. Agreed, it would indeed. Anybody says, gauge next to DME, it's AOA, yes, and you are correct with the red out too. It's in meters. Excellent. Now here's a question. This is our TCAS and BS. Is this in feet? I believe this is in feet. And is this in feet as well, or in meters per minute?
After departing Austrian A320, line up 27 right behind shuttle 8 kilo.
There's questions I've been wondering. Right, I think we're ready to go. Out of interest, let's grab the checklist now. We'll do the after start. Now I think, yeah, ready to start. Intake not closed. Oh, I don't want to fiddle too much. Flap lever should be 2 degrees, so that's the first stage. Ground support is arm, reverse up. I think it ran those checks as part of it, so I'm going to leave that alone. I don't think it's running. because it says ready to start. Pretty cool it has 2 APUs though. Oh no, there it goes. So it hasn't let me have start, so that's good to know. So APU left, APU right, and then you turn off the power and bleed air for those. That looks like I turned it on. Not convinced. I don't want to fiddle too much here. What I will do is the bits at the front that I know a little bit more about. Flaps to 2, so there you go. First notch is just a little bit of flaps. You don't get any slats with that, which is really strange. Most aircraft, you get more.
Heathrow Tower, Speedbird Conqueror 3, information.
If you look here, there you go. It's just a tiny adjustment to the flaps. So I assume this is just sort of a taxi setting, not really used in flight. I don't know. Hard to believe it makes much difference, but there it is. Ground spoilers arm. Now apparently they are in the arm position here. Is that true? That's another thing I need to know. Anybuild says VSI is feet, VS dart is meters a second, I believe. Okay, thank you. That would make sense because this is quite sensitive. 4 Prawns, good to see you. 4 Prawns says, I agree, Ari, the fan. I'm quite partial to the mahogany desk for the crew. Yes, yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Matthew Presley says, it isn't a true Eastern Bloc aircraft until it has the literal pilot fan. Indeed. It's so iconic. We all know it from the videos we've seen of these things. Absolutely. Yeah, so anyway, I don't know if I've armed the ground spoilers, but Josh in the comments suggested that that is the arm position, whereas I was putting it forwards. It does, however, default to that position with the 0 on the axes, so I'm not entirely sure about that. Reverse thrust lock handle up, so that is... Oh, no, leave that at 2, please. And let me show you the reverse thrusts. It's that huge grey handle, which is great, isn't it? But we're not going to power back, so there it is, up. Flight controls free and clear. So, nice simple gauges, always displayed. Don't need a fancy ICAS or status display for that. But you've got ailerons and roll spoilers. Elevators left and right, and then both rudders left side and right side. That's pretty cool. I like seeing both rudders. I do like that indeed. John Fezzer says, I would assume cycle standby. Yeah, me too. I'd agree with that. So let's have a look at those flight controls. Something I've noticed is that this, when you get it in the air, it's very light on the roll. But my assumption is that's due to having such a vast amount of roll spoilers. The entire wing lifts, which I've never seen. Every inch of it. Really amazing. There's a huge elevator. It's got 3 separate elevators, and the rudders are divided into 2. Very cool. Which does beg the question, on this instrument display, how do I see which rudder? Because I've got left and right, but do I have top and bottom? I don't know. I don't know if there's a way to do that or what they would do. Maybe you'd have to press a button to cycle between them or something. I don't know. Spoilers are in the armed position on spawn. Thank you, Any Builds. Perfect. Thank you very much. Good. Any Build says vertical control. Adjusting the pitch with the red dial on the center pedestal is how descent was normally managed. The VS is very twitchy by design. Not recommended. Okay. I've only been using VS. We shall give it that a go then.
What clearance did you get?
Aileron under trim check. Noticeable steering switches on. They are on. Taxi lights, logo lights are on.
No, I meant departure
Next is line up and engines. So let's get pushed back.
We got Compton.
It's only taking 45 minutes. Yikes.
Okay.
I thought this would be much quicker.
Didn't tell me that. No worries. Taxi right, Sierra.
Oh, and the fuel. Let's get that fuel in the right position. We need 40 tons required. I'm going to take more than that.
Shuttle 5 Charlie, taxi, Alpha, hold Alpha 3. Oh, in fact, Shuttle 5 Charlie...
barely going any distance,
taxi,
so I'm going to reduce
Alpha,
it to...
Link 54, Bravo,
and by the way, as you adjust the weights, look at the speeds. The speeds do move. So the blue bug is rotate speed, I believe. And you can see it moving. And so far I've been using that and it works fine. So we need a total of 40 tons, which is very light, but that's what Simri said. Just check that. It would be embarrassing otherwise. Yep, 40 tons. Which is a huge amount of fuel to go an hour's flight, obviously, but we can draw that right down. So we're going to take off with 60 tons, that'll do, as we're going to spend so long taxiing. Antonov Bureau 330, request push, stand 1.
Antonov Bureau 330, push and start approved.
Push start approved, Antonov Bureau 330. There we go then, good luck to us. We're going to go, I really need it to turn, but I'm not going to be able to, so we're just going to move straight back as best we can. Let's get rid of the shocks.
Caution in the Antonov 225 pushing off your right side. Stand 6,
And off we go.
5, push start approved.
Start the clock.
Push and start approved. Caution the Antonov, speedbird 902 November.
I wouldn't even know which one of those it's supposed to be.
Hello again.
Brakes released.
846
Tag is connecting. I've got too many controls on my desk today. Struggling to maneuver the mouse. Here we go. Fizz, hello to you.
2234.
Been waiting to catch you do a flight with this beast. Excellent. I hope you enjoy it. Anybody says the flight controls are hydraulically boosted along with actually having fly-by-wire control, so she's actually very nimble. Excellent, yeah.
463 back correct.
Yeah, I can believe it. And yeah, the A380 is famously nice to fly.
Seabird Concorde 3, the Circa 23.
Falcon says it's approach speed. Don't know if it's also VR. Yellowbug seems quite fast for rotation. Yeah, the yellow. I don't think it's yellow. The blue seems to work every time I've done it. So I've been using that. Are we going? If I release the brake, we will. Off we go. How fantastic is this? It's hard to believe that we can go onto VATSIM with an Antonov 225. I mean, it's just never been an option.
Seabird 638 for taxi. 638, thanks Charlie. Right,
yeah, I can't steer the tug.
And then link 21, link 22, hold Alpha 2.
Right onto Bravo, link 21, link 22 to hold Alpha 2, speedbird 638.
And if anyone's interested, it's level 7, 99 nil.
You know, that does happen in the real world as well. Just that's a football update for anyone wondering. How far can we go back before we have trouble? It's a pretty good tug, yeah.
Heathrow Tower, shuttle 8 kilo requesting switch over to Unicom.
Shuttle 8 kilo, apologies, I thought I did pass you off. You can want to Unicom, have a good flight.
Let's get that tail right into that bay. It'll give us the best chance.
Shuttle 8 kilo.
Business only about the requesting suspect.
091 Neighbour Hotel, push and start approved, face south.
Business approved facing south, only about hotel.
Okay, that's good. Stop there. Or there. There we go.
Crescent 5, Quebec, Dick turn.
Brake is set.
Line up 27 right.
Line up 27 right to
that should have to get rid of the tug. Yep, they're going. Right, let's do our next checklist. So we've done the flight controls.
Spirit 826 after the passing, Vueling Airbus A320 via Alpha 1, line up 27 right behind.
Line up 27 right, let's be
Should get to 70% M1, then you can turn on the bus switches. But I think these are already on as well. Yeah. So I won't worry too much about that. Okay. Right, tug is gone. I think the flaps stay up because according to the checklist, the flaps come later. Those trucks are tiny indeed, yeah. Innie says, and might I say, what an excellent looking Heathrow scenery. It is very good. Very good. Right, yeah, if we go to the takeoff checklist, flaps 35 degrees, and as far as I can tell, that is full flap.
25, Quebec Victor, yeah, line
25,
up 27 right.
35. Is that correct? Is it full flap for takeoff? That's another question I've been having. Anyway, let's go. Answer up Bureau 330, request taxi.
Answer Bureau 330, thanks, taxi. Right Sierra, hold Sierra for whiskey.
Right Sierra, hold Sierra for whiskey. Answer up Bureau 330. Good.
Quebec Concorde 3, nothing ahead, when I see Unicom 122 decimal 8.
Left landing light, right landing light.
122 decimal 8.
There is a position, it's like a taxi position. Anyway, I don't think we need them. Brakes released. Here we go.
Seabird 902 November, request taxi.
902 November, following the Antonov 225.
It's very light given the lack of fuel for this short hop.
Follow the Antonov, hold Sierra 4 whiskey. Seabird.
That really got moving quickly there.
2 November. Thanks very much.
Awesome. Are we going to manage this? Keep it going. Oh, maybe not. Bit too much energy going there. Notice as well the rear wheels here turning, which is very cool. And you can see the smoke coming out the engines, which is nicely modelled because this aircraft famously, all these Antonov 124s do have that effect. So, we need to go to Sierra 4. we're going to take the 380 chart.
Frankfurt over deck 2 Foxtrot departure, squawk 3252.
So, this is Sierra.
78 Tango, correct.
Sierra 4 Whiskey is this one here. So, okay, let's get that right. Now, I know that we can't actually fit through this bit, hence it's not green, but we're going to go to the left of the taxiway and we'll manage. Got to go like that speed. Yes, it would be good as a sort of James Bond vehicle, wouldn't it? Like that submarine. Is it a submarine? Or the boat that eats another boat, or the spaceship that eats another spaceship. It's a very common James Bond sort of theme. This would be good for it.
Thread 846, stand 515, push and start approved, face north. Facing north,
So we get ourselves right on this edge. No cameras as far as I can tell, or anything like that for taxiing this, which is really impressive. Oh, no, right over, please. Because I tried this and it didn't work. So we get that left gear right on the yellow line. Luckily the engine's nice and high, so it doesn't matter, they're all over the grass anyway. There we go. So pretty, such a great silhouette. Still frustrated by Microsoft Flight Simulator's spot view, distorting it by putting it in the bottom of the wide angle there. There we go. Good, we've made it. Now we're in legitimate 380 territory. The brake check, working just fine. So, running through this again, we've got speed, 6,000 feet, 250 knots. I'm going to just set the VS control slightly up for when I engage it. We'll use the autofocus once we're in the air. It's set to VOR 1, but I'm going to set it to course 1 because I'm going to use the heading initially. My initial heading is actually going to be 136 towards the Epsom NDB, so I'm going to use this, which is the heading control. Now, horrible to use in a flight simulator, but actually I suspect not too bad to use in a real aircraft because it'll be quite handy for both pilots down there. So let's get that to 136. And let's slow down, make sure we get the right taxi.
5, Quebec,
That's Sierra 5 Whiskey, I think.
Negative, remain this frequency.
5 Whiskey, yep.
So to remain as we change for Unicom,
I thought we were going to swap at the end of the runway. This is going to be a real mission of a taxi.
2826, one able, squawk mode Charlie.
136.
One able, squawk mode Charlie, speed 86.
Right, Sierra 5 Echo. Almost got the hang around. Yeah, nuisance in the sim, but I suspect fine in real life. There we go, 136. No, Nam says the FPS is giving me a headache. It will get better once we get in the air. This is a combination of things, including FS traffic and so on. Now, I think this is Whiskey.
109.725, flooding 573, thank you so much.
Number 26 Alpha Victor, Heathrow Tower, hello, cleared to Athens, Detling to Foxtrot departure, squawk 7744.
Because it goes...
Cleared to Athens, Detling to Foxtrot departure.
I don't know, actually.
7744 to the 26 Alpha Victor.
So 26 Alpha Victor,
Yeah.
correct?
Yeah, we're here.
826, still reading mode Sierra. If you squawk mode Charlie and call Heathrow director 119.7.
The alternative is we can
119.725.
go to the map view and see it. But anyway, that's fine. So we're across the runway here. I think they're landing on this runway.
Continue 27 left, one aircraft does a cross.
Captain Sleep says, when is a good time to ask the crew to see the cockpit without bothering them? After the flight, usually. Too much to do at the start before you go. It's 380. But yeah, afterwards, and yeah, most pilots will enjoy it. Was that us? Answer Bureau 330 holding Sierra 4 Whiskey.
Answer Bureau 330 at Sierra 4 Whiskey, cross runway 27 left.
At Sierra 4 Whiskey, cross 27 left. Answer Bureau 330. Brakes released. Let's do it before this traffic on final.
Seabird 26 Alpha Victor, request push and start.
26 Alpha Victor.
I need to get the other pilots to put the strobe lights on. Not sure where we're going, but my guess is just over there.
Face. Discretion 511, push start proof, face north.
Just get out of the way.
Push and start proof, face north. Dan 511, Seabird 26 Alpha Victor.
Tower Speedbird 9042 approaching Sierra 4 Whiskey.
Awesome. Look at this.
2 November, Roger, hold Sierra 4 Whiskey, or 1 aircraft on there.
You rev up this thing, you'd probably blast the 320
Roger, hold Sierra 4
into the
Whiskey,
air behind you.
Speedbird
Spence, where can I set the heading? Using this red dial down here.
Speedbird 366, are you able to
Thanks, Lucky Play, for the follow.
Alpha 4 for departure?
Affirm, that would be...
I'm guessing we're going to follow that sort of traffic round there.
366, Roger, hold Alpha 4.
Ooh, bumpy taxiway.
Speedbird 638 via from Alpha 2 to Service
It's,
Wind 30
you need to get on the brakes
right,
early.
right,
It does take a second to slow down, as you would expect.
Beeline 62 Bravo, the surface wind 30.
Well, we haven't been told anything else, so my total guess is to go this way. Can't go that way. Let's see where we get sent.
Speedbird 366 after departing British Airways 757-200 via Alpha
Ed, good to see you.
4,
Ed says, I
line
was lucky to see it
27
land at East Midlands once, frightening the life out of me as I wasn't expecting. Yeah, amazing. What a treat.
Good evening, Kilo 104, guest IFR clearance to Amsterdam. We are...
Hollis says, I believe your Innie Heathrow is updated. Ah, I better check that.
Kilo 1024 Heathrow, hello, confirm stand number.
Center 305 for right, and Boeing 738, Kilo 104.
Kilo 1024 number 1, standby.
John Dawson.
330 taxi, Alpha Link 23, hold Alpha 1.
Alpha Link 23, hold Alpha 1, and Bureau 330. Oh, let's see if we can do that. So, Alpha. We're on Alpha. 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 I think 2-3, Alpha 1. Staying on the right side. Perfect. We can do that. Right, let's see what the run-up is. Line up from center line, strobe lights on, parking brake set. We won't do that just yet. Got to get the engine to 70%. So squeeze it on the brakes. Give it a bit of a rev. There we go. After warm up complete. Then you turn it on, check throttle. It's good. So next is takeoff. So yeah, flaps to full as far as I can tell. So there they go. And you see them travelling down here on this little dial, which is very cool. Looking for Alpha now. Not L29. Not L29. Oh, getting a bit of speed there. Slow it down.
After 366, the surface wind 300 raised at 5 knots, 27 right, clear for takeoff.
Clear for takeoff, 27 right, speed 366.
Slow down, there we go.
Heathrow, second right, Bravo, stand 226.
This is Navigraph charts for the charts arc. Winter causing incursions, indeed, yeah. I don't know if this aircraft's ever been to Heathrow. It'd be quite disruptive. I suspect the pilots of this got used to sitting around waiting, because it would take quite a coordination of ground vehicles and so on, I bet, to get this thing anywhere. Okay, we're getting there then. Now, one of these doesn't do anything useful, one of them does something very useful, and I'm trying to remember which way round it is. But if you press the wrong one, it just resets this number over and over again. But we won't need it today, initially, I don't think. So now we're going to stay on the right side and head over to Alpha 1.
Heathrow Tower, good evening. Shuttle 8 uniform, we're Type A320, stand 509, looking for IFR to Edinburgh. We've got information Yankee in a QNH 1014.
Charlotte Yankee, present Charlotte uniform Heathrow, hello, Edinburgh, Umlaut 1 Foxtrot departure.
We're looking for 23.
Clear Edinburgh,
23.
1 Foxtrot departure.
So we're going right here.
Right, squawking 6465 for Shuttle 8 uniform.
Charlotte uniform, correct. Beeline 1 Lima Hotel, the
Okay.
wind 300 raised at 5 knots.
Left button, that's the only one. Okay, thanks, Rubs.
Contact 27 right, Beeline 1 Lima.
638, call Heathrow director, 119 at Air Small 725.
You know, I don't think I've got the Innie Heathrow installed. I think this is the premium deluxe version of Heathrow, I think.
29 in November Whiskey, stand 224, request push and stop.
I have bad form remembering which scenery I have installed. I was recently very impressed by the default Auckland until I realised it was the flight beam one.
Roger, after the Brussels Airlines
Alpha 1.
to my left hand side, push and start a breach. Confirm facing west during 29 November Whiskey.
East, sorry.
course, as you can tell, it's not in by the jetways. Yeah.
I've been used to 2709.
Right, we've made it.
Charlie, 5 Charlie, from Alpha 3, the surface wind
Let's get that nose right on the line.
5 knots, 27 right to take off.
Thanks, Corey, for the follow.
By Alpha
And thanks,
3,
Nick,
clear takeoff
for the art for the substitutions. Brake set.
Cutting to a 22 Alpha Victor, apologies, there may have steps on you.
Right, we are pretty much ready to go. Takeoff is quite straightforward. It's going to be full power, which is great.
846, follow the company Airbus
Rotate with the blue.
A320 to hold Alpha 3.
Then gear up. There is unusually not positive climb, but at an altitude of 33 feet or 10 metres, which we can see down here. And then at 50 metres, get rid of some of the lights. Strange thing to do at 100 feet, but there we go. So gear up, lights off, and then we accelerate, bring the flaps in, set it up as we want. These are quite simple checklists.
Get them on field at 4 for clearance.
Cannon 1024, apologies.
Normal sorts of things, as you can tell. Where is the fuel gauge on this? That's a good question.
No problem. Brookman Spark 7 Fox.
I feel like there'd be a summary for the pilots. Looking for 2 DME over here.
902 November, fastest departing company 757 via Alpha 2, line up 27 right behind.
After the company 757, line up behind from my 27 right, Speedbird 902 November.
We would have a...
As the Brero 330, after the departing company British Airways Airbus A320 via Alpha 1, line up runway 27 right behind.
After the British Airways A320, via Alpha 1, line up runway 27 right behind, and stop Euro 330. I'm not sure that counts as a company aircraft, but...
Yeah.
Where is it? One of these. Some of this must be fuel.
215, request clearance to Amsterdam.
We know that's APU. We've learnt that today. Right. Let's get the strobe lights back on. Landing lights on.
Taxi, Yankee, left Alpha, hold Alpha 3.
I think in the up position.
Yankee, left Alpha, hold Alpha 3, 918 Sierra.
Strobe lights. There is a position where the lights just come on, and then there's one where they pop out. There we go. So they're pointing forwards. There we go. That's a mission. A man or an aeroplane on a mission.
Heathrow, hello, confirm stand number and aircraft type.
So our colleagues are going to head off. I think they might be with us. Where's the car? Call sign is Antonov Bureau 330. They're rolling. Brakes released. Let's go.
Cleared to Amsterdam. Brookman's Park 7 Foxtrot departure, squawk 4762.
Clear to Amsterdam via
a bit of a hill.
7 Fox departure and squawk 4762.
Whoops.
LL 215 correct.
Wow. Our waiting is quite tail heavy. That was a bit concerning.
Battle 78 Tango, stand 316 and start improved.
I hope that's just because of the rough terrain and not a sign that we've loaded this wrong. We shall find out. I'm just going to put a bit of nose down trim to start off with.
Shuttle 5 Charlie, call Heathrow director 119.725.
119.725.
Excellent.
5 Charlie.
Tower 215, ready for push and start.
LL 215, stand 4.
And he says, so I went to finish cooking a roast beef dinner, ate it, washed up, and we're still on the ground. Yes, this has been much slower than expected. Mr. Pellicida, good to see you. Hope you're doing well. We're about to get going, finally. Like I say,
Would you like us facing south?
Only 1 hour flight. We're going to take off 2 miles on this DME, left turn 134 on this needle, and then take the 091, which will hopefully be identified by that point, which is going to be 117.3. Let's just move the checklist over there. Let's bring the chart up. Put the Detling. Okay, 1173. There it is. Let's give it a go. And this should all be set to VR1. It is indeed.
November Whiskey, thank you, taxi, Bravo, link 26, Alpha, link 23,
glorious
22,
on machine.
Alpha, Christian Bravo, link 26, Alpha.
We're going on the same route as the Airbus, I think. It's gone off to the left. Where are the APU exhausts? Are these the APU exhausts? Seems quite a strange place to put them.
Under number 30, the surface wind 3008 at 5 knots, 27 right, so take off.
Clear takeoff 27 right, Antonov Euro 330. Wish us luck then. Brakes released. A little bit of pressure. Let's go. Off to Frankfurt. And stabilized. Toga. Give you a bit more audio. Oh, we got no trouble today. Yeah. That fuel making a real difference here. Barely gonna use half the runway. And rotates. Look at that. 10 meters, gear up. Oh, unreal. Yeah. I should have just filled it with fuel as well, just for the fun of it. It's a beast. This is all going to happen very quickly now as a result of that. Keep an eye on our 2 miles.
726 Alpha Victor, via Alpha 3, line up 27 right.
Keep the nose coming up.
Via Alpha 3, line up 27 right, to 26 Victor.
300 meters, so we're above 1,000 feet. Just bringing the power back now from Toga. Don't need it all.
At the Bureau 3, please, Zero call, Heathrow Director 119 725, see ya.
119.725, Antonov Euro 330, bye. 119.725. No, I didn't spot that frequency was coming up. 119.725, let's see how much I can do at once. There's 2 miles, left turn. I might sacrifice the radio in a second here.
You'll have 1 Lima.
Right, we're turning left now. Speed under control. Done our 2 miles. We're only 800 meters, so we can keep climbing. We are accelerating a bit. Let's get the next stage of flap in. Power's back, just to keep things under control for me. Bit of sink there. That was quite a big flap change, that one. Let's get the nose up. We're looking for 134 on that needle on the left of the artificial horizon. Once we've got it rolled up there, I'm going to put it into sort of pitch and roll hold, giving me a chance to check in with departure. So it's 1, 2. It's such a hard display to read there. I think we're not far off there. Let's get it nose down a bit. Oh, now the trim is very sensitive on this. That's something I have noticed. Flaps in another stage. And I'm going to engage the auto throttle, and it will keep 250 knots. And I'm going to engage the autopilot, and it's just going to hold the pitch and the roll. I'm going to get the flaps in now, because we're very light, so we're no trouble. And what I can do is if I put it to course 1, and now I select PC, it will turn to our 134, our heading bug. Right. Has that worked? Are we on 1? No, we're not. What have we done here? 119.75. There it is. Okay, that's the director. Right, will it level off? We should see the blue light as we get close to our level off. And it's just holding the pitch. So hopefully this is working. Still heading to the Epsilon NDB. Which we'll see here. So we're on that leg, pointing towards it. Good stuff.
Right turn 080 degrees, pivot 3 miles.
Don't know about the anti-icing stuff. I should assume it's well equipped. Departure, Antonov Euro 330 Super, Delta 2 Foxtrot passing 3,000 feet.
Antonov 330 Super, Heathrow Director, hello, maintain altitude 6,000 feet upon reaching.
Maintain 6,000 on reaching Antonov Euro 330. Right.
I'm
glad he said that, because that was not 3,000 feet. We could have timed this by 3. So we're basically there. Yeah, there's the blue light. We're actually at 6,000 feet already. Right, bit of a right turn now to head straight. Wind's drifting us off a little bit.
180 knots, pivot 3 mile Romeo.
And there's our course bar. So I can leave it in this heading now. So if I let it wings level,
left heading 270
and now I'm
degrees,
going to put, see if this works. VOR 1. I'm going to leave it now. It's just going into sort of a roll hole mode, an out shoot hole mode. Yeah, we're right there, and you can see that here as the course bar intercepts. Press PC, and now it will turn left and intercept that course bar. And you can see it even moving the heading bug for us. Very clever. Very nice.
180 knots, pivot 3 mile Romeo. Speed with 5 1 Lima, Gallic, question Heathrow, hello, descend followed by line.
You can see it even moving the heading bug for us. Very clever. Very nice.
Stevens 18 Bravo on present heading.
Sinking a little bit.
On the localizer,
So let's just think. The gear is up. I can now put it to neutral and close the little lock.
Stevens 3 my premium.
The flaps are up.
0 degrees.
And the speed brake's going disarmed.
Stevens 54 Lima descent altitude 5,000 feet.
We're now intercepting. It's rolling out. That's good. Let's get those lights off.
Antonov 330. Climb now. Flight level 150.
Climb now. Flight level 150. Antonov 330. Now they're going to have to be patient with us.
Stevens 94 Tango 10. Right heading 280 degrees.
Right heading 280 degrees and then 24 Tango.
4572.
2902 November. Nothing further.
It's going to take me 20 minutes to set that. 4572.
Over to Unicorn 122, destinate. Thanks very much. Have a good evening. Speedbird 902 November.
4572. Yeah, we're doing alright, aren't we?
Golf with land ball heading 270 degrees.
5
270 degrees after land ball. Speedbird
72. So let's go 46. Right, and now we're still tracking towards Detling. We are 31 miles away from the Detling VOR. So I'm going to press the velocity button and we'll just rocket up. We can also set standard now somewhere, which we need to convert. Oh, QNH only 1014, so it's 1 millibar out. I'm going to forgive myself that sort of discrepancy, given that we're flying in meters anyway. It might bring us back on track. James Rucker says, my brain would explode if I tried to fly this thing. I'll stick to the Phoenix 320. Yeah, it's quite something, but it all makes sense eventually. It is like all these things. You get it in the air and it's an airplane. Look at that. Look at the smoke coming out of the engines.
Now flight level 150.
I'm now 150.
Glorious.
Wings
flexing beautifully as well. They've done a fantastic job. I can't stress it enough. Really, really happy with this add-on. So interesting. So pretty. And this is what flight simming to me is all about, getting to fly these things. Sadly, it's not even possible at all now. 4,000 feet per minute. We are. It's so overpowered for the weight we've got. The truck is obviously not heavy enough. You can click. Sorry, Rob says you can click and drag the mouse to increase altitude speed. Yes. Yeah. I don't find it's much quicker for me. I don't know why. For some of the things. For others, it works very well. So we're leveling on 4.6. I need to see 4.6. We're almost there. So time to prep the next section. We're going on to the Coxie VOR 114.5. We need to go on to 098 degrees outbound.
Antonov 330, nothing further. Monty to come 122.8. Goodbye.
1228. Oh. 1228. Antonov Bureau 330. Thanks, mate.
Speed 18 Bravo, contact Heathrow Tower.
What is going on?
Speedbird 3.
Speed 31 Premier, thank you very much. Descent further with the clock.
I'm having trouble with my Logitech panel here. Trying to work it out. 128. Okay, we're with Unicom now. Now, this is a bit excessive. There's an altimeter in feet, so we're passing 13,000 feet, but we are rocketing up. So what I can do is press... No, that's the wrong one. I knew that. 4572. Oh, there you go, 4577. That's good. Oh, well, it's too late now. We're there. One of these, you can get it into the pitch hold mode. I'm just going to put that to sort of 0 in the middle. Piano Leonard says, have you ever seen it in real life? I saw it at Farnborough in the 90s. I didn't see it at Farnborough, but I have seen it in real life. But only in passing, sadly. Jeff says, can't believe we got a proper Antonov 225 before a proper 747. Yeah, we did. Yeah, it's amazing. This is quite a treat. Flight dispatchers, lovely wing view of your takeoff whilst I was making a left turn. Excellent. Calidor says, do I have room to fly a Skyhawk around in the back? Probably. You can probably get it in the air and back down again. Hello to you, Jill. John Doe says, I see a lot of similarities here with the Russian aircraft and DCS. Yeah, fair enough. Yeah, well, definitely. Just the horizon seems slightly different. James Exton says, looks amazing. It's pretty cool. Build says, the auto thrust will also give you full power on climb. Recommended procedure is manual throttle, 112 power set for climb. Aha, thank you. So yeah, so if I put it into VEL, then it will climb in speed and I can just add the power. It seems like the auto thrust system was not really used on this aircraft. Paul says it is a treat. I agree. 12 miles to go, 098, so a slight right turn. this sort of navigation will be fine for now. It won't be fine soon. Look at that, so pretty. Let's get up to 290. Goodness knows how I'm going to manage the descent in this thing. I hope there's no controllers on in Hahn. That's my only wish now. Don't know why I went on to that sim. 8,839. So 88 sounds good to me. Close enough. So we're going to turn off the auto thrust. We're going to press Vel. Up it goes. And Anybuild says 112 power set for climb. Oh. Oh, my axis is a little bit sensitive for that. Yeah, that's my hardware limitation. Anyway, even so, we are going to rocket away. And we can start to accelerate a bit if we want to. See what happens. Six miles to go. What do you write at VOR? 1. So, heading bug is aligned. I'm going to go to course 1. It's in heading mode now. Now I'm going to change 098 for the course. 098. And effectively, we're going to go straight on. Oh, that depends where we're sitting actually compared to the needle where it sits. It's slightly off to our right, so no, we're not going to go straight on. That's going to actually disappear off to the right. So 3 miles away, very close. I'm going to do a gentle right turn now. Towards 098. So let's do 18,000 feet. Accelerate a bit more. 500 kilometers an hour. What's that speed? What's 550? 300 knots. Let's do 550. Right, there we go. Doing too many things at once here. So 550. That's fine on the speed limit. We can see that we want to be slightly right of track now. This is course 098. So I'm actually going to bring the heading slightly over there to intercept. I won't make it intercept on its own. Anybody says the auto thrust was never actually finished. They ran out of time to get it certified. There you go. Slight right turn. Then we'll go VR1 course. And now it should fly that course for us. Whilst also leveling off for us. Good. Okay. Now the distance, well, how long is this leg meant to be? I can see that on my flight plan. This leg was supposed to be. It's not a long leg. 62 miles. Okay. So I'm just going to let it stabilize. And then I'm going to tune the new VOR once we are established on it. Next VOR is going to be 114.5, and it should be a simple case of just swapping it over. Shame we can't really set up the standby frequency, but that's how it is. For changing speed in climb, I recommend procedure is vertical control for pitch hold, then adjust the speeds. Vertical control being the right one. No, vertical control being this button. Vertical control, then adjust speed. Adjust the pitch until you reach target speed, then re-engage. Okay. Interesting. Funnily enough, I have flown an aircraft where we would climb in pitch mode, and that was the Dash 8, for those of you who remember. And you would eventually just set it to a pitch. Thanks for those follows. Really appreciate it. Yeah, what I'm going to do is put it back into vertical mode. Will make it follow this. No, it won't make it follow that. Why do I keep saying that and then not having it happen? So it's this one I need to press, vertical hold. The vertical hold just makes it level off. Oh no, it is doing the right thing. Vertical hold automatically levels it off. Let's re-engage the auto thrust so we don't have any problems there. If I press VY, what if I raise that and then press... A3. Let's wind that way up out the way. Ah, H3. There we go. And then we can use a sort of vertical speed wheel. But it sounds like, from what Nebuilds are saying, that's not a common way of flying this aircraft. More common would be to do it in pitch. We're going to 8,800 meters. I'll put it back in Vel mode for simplicity. Up we go. Yeah, it is very sensitive. I can see why Nebuilds is recommending you do it yourself. What about my lights? Are the lights on? Yeah, I think so. I like a well-lit flight deck. 26 miles away now. Time is moving on quickly, so let's put in 114.5, which is the Coxie VOR where we are going. So, to do that, we're going to go to course 1. It's just sort of gone to wings level, still in Vel mode. 114.5. Coxie. Pointing in front. VOR 1. Course. Excellent. We are 47 miles away from Coxie, and then a short hop over to Dickerick, and then that's going to be start the arrival. It's going to happen so fast. Oh, I can't believe there's another sensor on. 1260. I think this is going to be the easy way to do this. You can hear something identifying. There you go, 1260. It would be above the clouds.
485, monitor Unicom,
shame. Gloomy up here. This does happen sometimes. Control, Antonov Bureau 330 Super, climbing flight level 290 to Coxie.
Antonov Bureau 330 Maastricht, radar contact, continue climb flight level 290.
Climb level 290, Antonov Bureau 330. They must have had a lot of these over the last few days.
Leveling off 240.
Okay. Good stuff.
Hellenic Air Force.
Well, I hope you enjoyed the departure. We'll very shortly be descending in and landing again.
Up to 390.
Rob says, definitely the best $20 I spent in an add-on. Yeah, it's
Hellenic Air Force
absolutely
1314, turn right, heading 160.
Please tell me that wasn't us.
Right, heading 160, Hellenic Air Force 114.
Pitch hold is vertical control, VS hold is H3. Thanks, Golf thank you.
On flight level 230, climb to flight level 240.
Airwings 26 Golf, Maastricht identified, continue on present heading, climb
Now,
flight
do we have a
level
Mac number anywhere?
270.
Can't see it.
Continue present heading and climb flight level 270, Eurowings 26 Golf.
I would also like to put some de-icing, anti-icing on, but again, I can't point use that in the flight deck.
Kilo, contact Brussels, 12. Actually,
No,
contact Amsterdam already.
I'm sure I clicked on something. Engine heat switch.
Contact Amsterdam, Water 575, UC 4 Kilo, tot ziens.
Why are they guarded? Ah, that's why. We're not supposed to use those. We're supposed to use engine 1 anti-ice. There we go.
Radar easy 45 X-ray Romeo flight level 380 inbound left
2.
Easy 45 X-ray Romeo, hello, Squawk 5124.
5124 easy 45 X-ray Romeo.
But that's fine. We've managed 4 engines.
Windmill 2 Bravo uniform.
Is that what we need?
Level 300.
So we're going to get... oh dear. Oh dear. 30 miles from Coxie. The next one is going to be 116, so another right turn to 116.
Eurowing 7 Foxtrot, continue
the
descent
box,
flight
the
level
Mac, the
250,
ISO
level EBS.
Continue descent level 250 and
it's in the SI. Oh, so this is the Mac number.
November, Victor Oscar.
72.
A negative
Yeah, it's about, that makes sense. We're at 26,000 feet. We're going pretty fast.
Right to level at Ibiza, Eurowings 4 Kilo, correction 7 Foxtrot.
Duty 2 for Alpha Bravo, November ATC Unicom 122.
He says it's crazy to think that this is for $20 only. For this size and complexity, I'd expect the thing to be 60 to 80. Yeah. I think it's good value, definitely. Oh, we're going to break out these clouds? I really hope so. I can't. Flying like this is very disappointing when you have to do it in real life. Sometimes the cabin crew will come into the flight deck and they'll comment on it and say, oh, nice view you got today. Because it's just sitting there looking at grey. Love the shade of oil in the exhaust.
I choose 270, Eurowings 26 Golf.
Eurowings 26 Golf, Roger.
Yes, we're doing it, we're doing it.
Heading 185, Eurowings 26 Golf.
2,000 feet to go. So let's now get ready for arrivals. Frankfurt Hahn is a nice long runway. That's one of the reasons I chose it. But it has another advantage. Oh, no, that's not what I wanted to do. Here we go. Right. In that the arrivals are...
Lufthansa 1 Lima Echo.
Yeah, runway 21.
Go ahead.
Lufthansa 1 Lima Echo, when ready, descend flight level 29 0
The
level
arrivals are VOR compatible.
Roger, will they send from level 29 level below? Thank you, Lufthansa 1 Lima Echo.
I don't understand what we're looking at there. I haven't seen this before.
Flight level 190.
November 3 Bravo Charlie Master, identified.
Maybe we're not doing an arrival. By the looks of that. Because they're all over the place.
And Airbus 9 Kilo Charlie back.
Emirates 9 Kilo Charlie, Roger, descend flight level 290.
I think we need to go left a little bit.
When ready,
It seems to be really following that course.
Emirates 9 Kilo Charlie, descend now.
It doesn't matter what I do.
Or just descending on
I'm going to change it. We are on VOR1.
Master radar, good evening, Gearing's 29 on the level whiskey, passing flight level 2724, flight level 350.
I'm confused as to how you fly nav mode and fly your normal route. Well, you can. They've enabled an option, which I don't think the Red Aircraft had, to put the route. You can load the route into GPS or use a Microsoft Flight Simulator routing system and then do that. So we're routing this VOR here. There you go, Coxie, 8 miles away. So let me get ready for that turn and then I can start fiddling around these charts. But I think we're going to go straight in for the RS21 via the overhead, something like that.
Fisher for 3075, 3 Alpha requesting 2 minutes away.
Portugal 753 Alpha leaving the airspace shortly, Unica 122,
we can get... Am I about to fly a procedure using an NDV? Oh, I have a horrible feeling we are. But yeah, we'll head to the NDB and then head outbounds and round. Oh dear. What have I got myself into? 1145, which is what we're on. We're going to go outbound 116. So, it's levelling off. We've got the blue light. That's good. Let's put it into course 1. Let's put the new course outbound of 116.
122.8, have a good night, thank you, with me to promise.
Come on.
Emirates 9 Kilo Charlie, no further ATC, monitor Unica 122, decimal 9.
Emirates monitor Unica 128, Emirates 9 Kilo Charlie, heavy here.
Now, heading back round, we go to the right. Very sensitive as we fly over the top of the VOR, the cone of confusion, but I'll just put on a loose, gentle intercept like that. Depends where the wind's coming from, so whether that's going to work or not, we shall see.
Master's radar, very good afternoon, evening, Lufthansa 849, flight level 330, direct Medox.
Lufthansa 849,
Master, have the 40 ARA.
Direct Nivnu, Lufthansa 849.
So now pointing away, 7.1 and increasing.
Good evening, Seabird 9018 Sierra, passing
flight level 261
for 350 inbound Dover.
There comes our course bar. We're heading in the opposite, well, away from it now. So we'll go to VOR1 and you'll see, once again, it's reverted to pitch hold and then we'll do course. Sorry, wings level, not pitch hold. And I'm hoping it'll do a left turn and you'll see the sort of director bar dragged left as it does it. Then we're in altitude mode and course stabilization. And then it's a gentle left. That's all good. Oh dear. Right, 12 miles away. Next we're going to 114.4. This is the longer leg, I believe. If I get the correct shot.
Am I supposed to be with you still, or?
Let's just check. We have... No, not pinned it, so let's pin that. And star.
Sorry about that for you, Leon 26
I don't think any of these stars come from our direction.
Resume on navigation, direct to Russia.
Resume on navigation, direct to Russia.
And certainly we're not flying any of the RNAV ones, so we'd have to do one of these.
Master, good evening, Beeline 2647, climbing 240.
Yeah, forget it. So 376 is the Hahn NDB. That's what we're going to use for the RLS. If air traffic asks us for anything, I'm going to have to be very clear about my capabilities here. 376, listed on both sides. 376, just in case I need it. Good. Let's. Are we established? We are established outbound. Let's go to course 1. Let's tune. 1144. Right.
Just to confirm, I can stopping climb flight level 37.
Oh, it's a long way away. This is a longer leg.
9 Hotel Echo Lima.
This is not registering yet.
Roger, expect higher in 1 minute.
Interesting. Okay.
Can you repeat that?
I'll have to put it back then.
Expect higher in 1 minute. To expect.
Higher in 1 minute, 9 Lima Fox.
That's fine. We'll go a bit longer in course like this.
Beautiful, good evening.
Right, the next challenge is going to be judging our altitude in the descent. Minimum runway length for landing this aircraft. Well, it's going to depend hugely on the weight, but I wish I could tell you. I don't know. They would have their own performance charts and weights to tell them. It's got a lot of flaps, so I would imagine not too ridiculous, but let's hope 3,800 meters is enough. I'm sure it is. For this approach, as we're almost there, we're going to head into the NDB. I'm going to slow right down, maybe get 1 or 2 stages of flap out, probably 2. And then I'm going to leave the NDB on 014. Now it says to 13.3. I might go a little bit further because we're not even, I don't know what category airplane this counts as, but Cicada is an E. Might go a little bit further out and then make our own intercept of the ILS. So this is good because instead of being a VOR to an NDB, it's no, actually no, it's not good because we've got to do the DME 11735. So we're going to have the NDB up. We'll fly the needle like this, like we did in that departure, and then we will use the DME here, get past maybe to 15D, make a right turn background. Now you never, ever, let me be really clear, you'd never modify a procedure in real life in any circumstances. You fly the right one for your aircraft, and they don't have a procedure, you're not doing it because procedures are designed carefully to keep you safe. I'm just not sure this is going to work for us. However, we might be at slow enough speed. Maybe we will do it. Maybe we'll just do it as per the procedure. See what happens. We can always go around and do it again. We've got lots of fuel. Flight Dispatch 320, thanks so much for the $12 tip. Really very kind. Flight Dispatch says, as a dispatcher, I love working with aircraft and flight crew on a daily basis. Thank you for the knowledge you share with us all and love flying along when possible. Flight Dispatch 320, thank you for flying along today. And thank you so much for that very, very kind tip. Really, really appreciate it. Very generous. And I hope you're doing well. And indeed, I absolutely love interacting with all the other people around aviation and dispatchers. It's great seeing everyone come together and get these sometimes complex problems solved. So yeah, really appreciate it. Thank you so much, and I hope you're doing very well. Very well indeed. So let's put 114 4 on this side, and then actually that will give us a clue. 144, and when that DME comes to life, we'll know we're getting a bit closer. 45 miles away already. Let me just check. Yeah, this is quite a long leg, obviously. 152 miles. A bit too much for Microsoft Flight Simulator's VORs to do. It could be a bit far, actually, for the real ones. At this altitude. Mariner Halley, good to see you. I hope you're doing well. Thanks for joining us. Anybuild says the A310 pulls the waypoints from sim data using WASM API. There are a few edge cases we've rectified in the latest sim update 12. There you go. Complicated stuff. Building one of these aircraft for flight sim. I can't even imagine. It's a shame we're stuck in the tops of the clouds here. But we are. That's live. Oh, our lights are dangling out. That's no good. Why are they dangling? Now they're folded away and on.
Can I have 2 minutes out of the cockpit?
Hello.
Now they're off and folded away.
Thanks very much.
Good stuff. Right, we're getting there.
Again.
Can I step away for 2 minutes? Thanks very much.
Beeline 2647 further ATC, Unicom now on 229.
Right, sorry about that. Yeah, okay.
Switching to Unicom, Beeline 2647, have a great night.
60 miles. This is fine. Everything's fine. Just think about this approach. So, thanks for the approach. And what should I write down? RS21. We'll check the weather for that, but that was what the wind was suggesting. I'm going to write this out in front of me because that's how I'd have the charts. It doesn't help having to do it like this. So I'm just going to draw my own chart here. So out to 13.3 on the
Flight heading 130, speedbird 9
which is
02 November.
11735. And you can see it's just a DME. It's not a usable VOR. 11735 out 13.3, and that is on a course of 014 degrees. We'll do that off the NDB 376. 13.3, and then inbound to the ILS 211 degrees.
Over to 122, thank you very much for your service. Bye bye.
So how are we going to do this? I think we'll do the same trick. We'll put the Frankfurt Hahn VOR, DME 11735 over on here, and then we can read it from there, and we'll just look across there when we need that. We'll have otherwise the ILS tuned on our side, along with the course of 211 ready to go on our side, and we'll just fly 014 looking at this needle over here. That's the plan. That's going to be the way to do it. We're pretty fast. It's quite slow speeds on this aircraft. I'm quite surprised. We're only Mach 0.76 and we're right up on the limit. Probably to do with the size of the wings means that there would be a lot of air going over them, which is going to put you right in the range of supercritical, where some of the airflow starts to go supersonic. And I would imagine that's what limits us on that Mach number. I think it'd be easy to get air going supersonic on this thing. Because we could definitely have the power to go faster. Look at our thrust. Got plenty more to go. It says the lefty handle controls their position, the righty handle controls whether they're taxi landing or off. Ah, that makes more sense. Thank you. I thought it was both sides. Problem is it says left and right landing light. I think that's what confused me. So up, off, down, right, okay. Can you see the cargo hold in flight? Says James. Good question. We've got a minute here. I don't actually know where that staircase was. Is it here? Rescue rope. Goodness me. Don't want to read that. Scare myself. Storage, storage, storage. Social sofas. More social sofas. Can't go past the curtain. I can't see. Where would the route down be? Am I missing it?
Classic Radar, good day. GN24 Charlie.
I feel like it's quite far forward.
Agent 2 for Charlie Master, external identified. Continue plan flight level 330, direct Ibiza.
That's like an escape, surely. As is that. Oh, there we go.
For GN2 for Charlie.
Well, let's have a look. What we can do is... it's in the ground section. Internal door. Let's hope that is nothing more sinister than this little hatch. There it is. So the answer is yes, you can. Now I don't have it set on my controls to go down the stairs, unfortunately, but we can look down. So they've thought of it. Jump back in the seats. I'll just close it up in case it affects something later on. So I assume that, unlike the... Descent level 250 and some Bureau 330. So I assume this means that we have a pressurized cargo hold on this, unlike the... where do we go? 7620. That's close enough. Good. Right, and we're going to do this then. Let's set that slightly down.
November 3, Bravo Charlie, confirm back. November 3, Bravo Charlie, Roger, continue, climb, fly level.
Vertical control.
November 3, Bravo Charlie.
No. No. Yes, H3, 7620. Already forgot. I was told. Down we go. Order thrust compensating nicely.
Antonov Bureau 330, contact Brussels 129.575.
129.575, Antonov Bureau 330. Bye. At least they're managing the descent for us for now. 129, but we do need to check that. 129.575. Scroll, scroll, scroll. An-295.
The 1 Echo
Okay.
Bravo, radar contact, climb 240, direct to Delta India Kilo.
Okay, we've lost that previous VOR and we've gained the new one. So let's put 144.
Kilo,
Okay.
Climb
Let's put it
240.
into course 1. Let's put it onto an inset.
Easy 1646. Easy 1646. You know you're dropping off line every 5 seconds.
And
Yeah, easy 1646. Yes, I have the problem with that sim. So.
how far are we from Dick We're 46 miles. Okay, we've got plenty of room still. Oh, so much going on here. So,
B-line 2628.
that's an inset sort of course. I'm going to put VR1 and then press PC. And now it should intercept that course for me. Should.
Woody.
Next step is, let's have some altitude for this chart ready to go. So 5,000 feet platform heading outbound.
Your wings to 1 hotel, contact Amsterdam 125.75.
And then we actually stay at 5,000 for the inset DRS. So that's quite nice and straightforward. It's got a high elevation, Hahn. It's actually at 1,600 feet. So that's good news. So 5,000 feet is nice and simple the whole way. So let's just put that in here and make sure we know. No. Sorry, not you, Navigraph. 5,000. 1524. So that is what we need to go to. Ah, weather's finally improved.
The higher the better for me, sir.
Brussels, good evening. Antonov Bureau 330 Super, descending flight level 250 towards Dickrick.
Antonov Bureau 330, radar contact, descend flight level 150.
Descend flight level 150, Antonov Bureau 330.
Easy 30 Papa, contact Maastricht 126.0.
4572.
126.0, easy 30 Papa, thank you.
45. Oh, this is going to be one of our closest ever.
Lauda 1 Echo Bravo, continue climb.
Now, I would rather not be high and actually be a bit low.
Lauda 1 Echo Bravo, correct, I'm 60.
Climb 240.
Climb 240.
Heading obviously isn't good enough, so I'm just going to put it back to course 1. Heading.
Seabird 902 November,
I'm going to drag the nose right a little bit more.
Unicom.
Yeah, the wind must be coming from the right.
Unicom, Seabird 902 November.
Because we're not really intercepting that course bar. We're only 30 miles away.
Left heading 180, descend
So I would expect it to. Anyway, we're about to leave that.
Left 180,
and take 082 straight to the overhead. So I'm going to start coming back on the speed now. Give myself some breathing room. This is going to get really tricky.
radar contact.
NDBs do work in real life. We're going to use the NDB. It's an NDB ILS DME to be confusing. So we're using all those different bits. VOR, PC. Now we can intercept it. We're heading outbound on 082.
Antonov Bureau 330, direct Delta India Kilo.
Direct Delta India Kilo, Antonov Bureau 330. That's what we were supposed to be doing, but he doesn't like my wobbling around. There we go.
B-line 2628, left heading 150.
I like planes. Says, how are you flying this? It looks so complicated. With a lot of help from very kind viewers and any builds and viewers.
B-line 1341, direct Diekirch, Delta India Kilo. Direct Diekirch,
Okay. Let's think. 22 miles to go. That's all good. We're heading inbound to Dickrick VOR. That's fine. We're going to leave with a slight left turn to the NDB. So let's get the NDB up. We don't need that needle anymore. And I want to go to 376. Good. That's correct. So our next step is a left turn.
B-line 2628, descend 4,000 feet, QNH 1013.
Speeds back a little bit just to give us some space, like I say. I can't believe we're getting to fly this at this detail in this sim. Such a treat. The things that Microsoft Flight Simulator have enabled in this hobby are just fantastic. And thank you to AnyBuilds for bringing it to life. James says, I got close to an Antonov once as a child when my grandfather used to work with the Christmas shoebox appeal. Awesome machines, never forget the size. Yeah, I bet that sticks in your head, yeah. GFS says that VS is the same as the 310. Not quite, but this sort of pitch wheel is a common thing. You see this on, well, aircraft like the Dash 8. Yeah. So as you can see, I'm using it now. It's sort of in direct control, but quite sensitive. Goodness me. You know, this was almost going to be just a Twitch stream. I say just. This was going to be a Twitch stream where I could sort of just play around and we could do some circuits or something. I thought, no, we'll do the full flight on YouTube as well. And here we go. This is what I get ourselves into. Wintry, thanks for the subscription. If you are enjoying, do please leave a like. If you're enjoying watching me sweat and need a fan, then yeah, do please leave a like on YouTube. It makes a big difference to the channel. Really appreciate it.
Beeline 2628, left heading.
Flight dispatch says, when getting clearance, do you always do it through the MTD or frequency? Either or, depending on the airport. And if you're talking about in flight, it will come down to CPDLC or voice, depending on the airfield. Oh, the sector.
2628, negative radar contact.
Yeah, usual now is to do PDC through the MCDU. Yeah, that's very common now.
Currently free.
Roger.
Right.
Brussels control, KLM 873 with you.
KLM 873, radar contact.
6 miles to go, or just over. Getting ready for a left turn. So, course 1, which just drops it into wings level. We're going to head outbound 082.
Easy 1646, contact
Let's set up 082.
Antonov Bureau 330, leaving control airspace to Unicom, bye.
Thank God. Over to Unicom as a Bureau 330, bye. That helps us out. 082.
Lauda 1 Echo Bravo, increase speed 300 knots.
300 knots, Lauda 1 Echo Bravo.
08. Come on, there we go. 082. Now, I'm going to leave it in course 1. Gauge the heading bug. Put it on the left turn. 082.
Beeline 2628, left heading 115.
Let's slow down a bit more.
Left heading 115, Beeline 2628.
We're high, we're very high. I'm going to go to Vel.
Reducing Beeline 2628.
Let's just get down now. That's becoming critical here. 470, something like 250 knots.
1341, left heading 105.
1, 2, 2, 8. I've also not landed this airplane much. I've only done 2, I think, so we shall see how the landing goes. I think it's quite predictable. We shall find out. And I was really hoping to see the VOR, but for some reason, oh no, just because we're just in the wrong place. That's fine. So we're still in heading. So let's just drag it left to get an intercept on that. I think the wind's blowing us that way actually, so that should be fine. 4 prawns to switch the fan on as well. Excellent. Yep, I'm manually doing the heading. It does synchronize when you go into course mode though, which is a nice feature. I do like that. There are some nice parts to this autopilot. As confusing as it is at first, there are some really, really good bits to it. So we're up at 20,000 feet still. There we go. Now let's go to VOR1 PC. And we're going down to 5,000 feet, which is 1524 meters. So I'm actually just going to get that in now. We could do 3,000. We could do about 10,000 feet initially, couldn't we? Let's do that. Just to get a sense. We've got plenty of fuel, even if we get a bit low and slow. Now, this leg is, in terms of distance, is not very long. We're almost there. Yeah, I thought so. So speed brakes coming out. Let's get down. They don't travel much, but they're very effective, very big. So the blue grip's quite slow, possibly the shape sustainably. Indeed, yeah. Now this is a bit crazy. That's very effective on the speed brakes. But perhaps it's to do with the aggressiveness of the autopilot. Right. 376 NDB is in front of us. That's fine. We're going to keep pointing to that. So let's put it into course 1. We're now effectively in heading mode. Heading. Let's get this set up for what we need, which is 11735. No, I want the ILS, sorry, 1113. 1113. I want 11735. See, in the Airbus I could just put it into a hold or something if I needed to. Let's just, so there's the frequencies tune. Let's just see how we're doing. We're going into 3,000 meters. It's going to level off very shortly. Warning terrain because we're descending too fast. Okay, speed brakes in. Let's get the speed back. Come back to 400 kilometers an hour. Very light, so I think you won't have trouble doing this. NDB is still in front of us, so that's good news. Just want to get slower and slower, please. Right, inbound course for that ILS of 211 degrees. Oh dear, that's a long way to go. Go, 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 go. Oh yeah, that is quicker. There we go. 211. Good. So now I can actually see how far away I am to the airfield of the DME. 23 miles away. Okay, that's all good. All good. We've now leveled at 10,000 feet. Let's head down to our platform, 1500s. We'll do this a bit more controlled. I will go to slight pitch down, H3, and then that recenters to what you're doing, and then we can put it down. We're still in heading mode, which is absolutely fine, pointing straight at the VOR. And this is now set up for the ILS. So this is going to be the case of putting captain to land mode. And then hopefully as we get closer, it will swap over to the ILS. That's my hope. 211, 111.3. Okay, so for those of you wondering, we have ILS tuned here with the inbound course. This is set to the DME of Frankfurt Hahn, which doesn't have an inbound course, so we're not going to bother. It doesn't matter what that's set to. And the NDB over here, both sides set to 376, which is the Frankfurt Hahn NDB. So we're going to use a lot of different things today. I'm using this now to track towards the Hahn NDB, which only gives us a direction, no distance. And over here in DME2, I can see the DME. Now it is possible to get that DME on this side. If I do that, see 82 kilometers, but I don't really understand kilometers, so I'm going to stick with my normal DME. Tower is online. There you go. ILS is tuned from nav data. Thanks, Builds. I forgot about that. So that will load in as it picks up the signal. That's what's going to happen. It just does it quite late. All of the simulators load up. They all have quite a restricted range on the ILSs. That's a sim limitation on same on X-Plane, I think. We ran into that at Innsbruck. Good stuff. Radio altimeter will come to live eventually, so we'll keep an eye on that to make sure it should be 1,500 feet. So about 500 meters difference between this and our altimeter is what I'm expecting to see. So when we're at 1,500 meters, I expect this to say 1,000 meters. This is all using very, very rough conversions in my mind. We have to descend a little bit faster than this. Let's go down. Now, approach speed, I believe, is the blue bug. That's what we're going to work towards. 13 miles to go. Anything else in the checklist to do? Approach when 5 miles from the ILS. Flaps as required. Gear down. Approach mode as required. Yeah. Well, I'll see how that goes. Let's turn off that engine anti-ice. Or the ones that we managed anyway. Where's the others gone? Because that's one, so it's not like it's the middle engines or anything like that. Right, a bit left turn towards the NDB. Just using this needle here, we've been drifting slightly to the right. 9 miles to go. We're at 9,000 feet passing overhead, so we're still high. Let's keep the speed brake up. Little orange dart on the red out bugs. The minimum 61 meters, roughly 200 feet. Aha, there it is. Right, okay. Well, we need to bug. It's quite high elevation here, so our minimums are 1795. Oh no, but sorry, it's a red out. So yeah, no, thank you. So we're going to go with 61 meters. Thank you. Getting myself confused now. Too many conversions. 61 on the red out. There we go. We wouldn't normally use a red out for Cat 1 stuff, but it's going to be useful today. And some aircraft would do it as procedure. Right, let's come back to 390. Now the flap speeds I'm pretty much guessing. Speed brake out, just get that energy out of it. And we're going to go outbound on 014. Just keep slowing down. I'm going to get the first little bits of flaps out. Hopefully that's okay. 360. ...3 miles to go. NDB starting to swing. We're in heading mode. I want to go outbound on 014. I'm going to start the turn. This is going to be hard. This is a really hard way to do this because the NDB display is so small and so is the heading. I can't actually see what it's set to. It's pretty much a 90-degree left turn. What have I done there? I think I've interfered. There we go. Yeah, I interfered. I accidentally did the... Let's see. So speed brake's in. That's in the right place. I can't see which way that needle's pointing either. Have we gone over it yet? I think it's about to go down our right hand side. There it goes. Okay. And I want to do 014. So let's start bringing the heading back left. So 014. DME is 1.7 because they aren't coincident, by the way. So yeah, there we go. It's working out. There's the DME just behind us, so that would make sense. We also want to make sure we do level off at 1500, which it has done. We got the blue, that's good. Let's get the next stage of flap out. Can we do that yet? Yes, we can. And we can slow down a bit more. It isn't idle, so that's good. Right. We've got to drag the tail, so we're a bit in close. So let's go left further, drag that tail around. I don't want to be in the wrong place for this turn. I'd rather be slightly wide, frankly. We are visual, so that gives us some excuse. 4 problems is I switched on my other fan. Yes, let's do that. Get some serious airflow in here. Excellent. Right, I'm sure that's not affecting the FPS. So here's the tail then. 0, 1, 2. We're going to keep dragging it left. Airfield back over there somewhere. That's now displaying, which is good. 211, 000 kilometers, pointing away, I suppose. In fact, does it have a DME? Or are we going to be using the HH3? No, it's not. It's just an ILS, so we're going to be using the Hahn DME the whole way in as well. Excellent. So we're relying on that little gauge over there. We're at 7 miles to go. 015 we're at now, so let's bring the nose right. It would help if we knew where the wind was. That's the last thing I want to happen. Don't do that, please. So let's put the heading on 013 roughly. Now, what's tower? Can someone tell me tower frequency? I can find it, don't worry. EDFH is an ATIS. RS21. QNH1011. It's only 2 millibars difference, so that's fine. $11965. Oh, don't do that. Don't know what that does. Looks like a standby frequency. 119.65. So we've got the frequency ready and active. They're just going to have to deal without us knowing the information. 014 we are tracking, that's good, and that's 10 miles out. So if I look at this chart, I expect us to be coming to the end. Look at that. Right, let's see if we can keep this going. Just getting a bit of turbulence. Quite lumpy terrain around Hahn. See all the wind turbines as well, which looks suspiciously like we're going to have a tailwind on the way in. Curious. Flight dispatch is going a long vector and coming behind. Anyway, no problem at all. 11. Now this is going to be the hard bit because we need to get that intercept right. But we'll see what we can do. See what we can do. Never get the replay software up and running. Be good to have it running at this point. Yeah, quite a rugged autopilot at times, or firm autopilot, we should say. And record. So flight recorder is going. Flat 15 might be an idea. Says any builds. Let's do it. I will take the advice. What were we at? We were at 15, I think. Yes. Anyway, right, 13.3 we've now done. We're in course 1, so heading bug all the way around. And I'm just going to have to judge that based on the HSI to sort of 30-degree inset. So it's 2-1, so it's going to be 1-8. Southerly heading would be an inset. Wind is coming from our left, I think, from those wind turbines. Slightly harder to judge. Let's slow down a bit more. 40. I'm going to go to the next stage of flap. I think that's a good idea, actually. Keep the nose from getting too high in these sharper turns. Let's arm the speed brake then, which they are. That's the arm position. That's good. We're in the captain land. Glide slope's above us. I'm going to let it go wings level in heading, and then I'm going to go to approach mode. But whatever I do, I can't get it to fly down the approach. I don't know how to do that. So we're going to have to do a bit of manual flying, or maybe a little bit of VS, but that does, I can't get that to work very well. Need more fans, indeed. AOA is key to the approach. Says any builds, anything 15 and above is guaranteed drop. Okay. So let's now go to approach, and you'll see that it stays in wings level. I'm just going to wait until I see the localizer come alive. If we look on our chart, we should be on an inset sort of heading. There we are. All depends on the wind now. So I'm... Yeah, this is what I was worried about. I'm going to... There's a localizer. That's good. PC. But it won't fly down. So to do that, I'm going to wind the altitude sector right down. I'm going to drop the gear. I'm going to wind the speed back. Is the blue bug now our approach speed? There's a glide slope, so we're going to go to H3 and start down, and let's see how it goes. Aiming for like 700 feet per minute. But it's very agricultural, as we see. Let's go full flap. Well, we're doing alright. Sticking with the glide slope initially. For GS, press the BTR button right. Yeah, that's a big balloon. Let's come back to the app. It's going way off glide slope now. So I'm going to disconnect the autopilot. We gear down, we're flat full, speed brakes are armed. Bit of a dive now. This should work. Vertical control for GS as any builds. Ah, okay. Let's try again then. Autopilot, PC, vertical control. Is it going to manage that? We'll find out. Oh, it's pitching. Tower, good evening. Antonov Bureau 330 Super ILS, runway 21 at about 6 miles.
Antonov 330 Hahn Tower, good evening. The wind is 250 degrees, 5 knots, runway 21, clear to land.
Clear land, runway 21, Antonov Bureau 330. Okay, nice, thank you. Vertical control, why didn't I think of that? So that's what I needed to do. PC seems to be a lateral only mode.
And Antonov 330, long rollout approved, vacate left via Bravo 2 or Bravo 1.
Long rollout left via Bravo 2 or Bravo 1, Antonov Bureau 330, thank you. Right, let's get the lights. There they are. Fantastic. Got smoke at the back. It's getting really bounced around here. Oh, well, previously I've always had to do this manually, but there you go. So you need it in approach mode, and then you've got the blue button for the localizer and the vertical control, which puts it into vertical mode. What's this saying? Gear lever in neutral. Something wrong with the flaps? Trailing edge flaps check. Oh well, I won't fiddle with that now. can see it wobbling around. Well, I'm pretty pleased with that procedure, no matter what happens now. And there you go, on glide slope. Approach on CD and course stabilization. Don't know what on CD means. This feels like a sensible speed.
Good evening, speedbird at 90.
These aircraft did approach pretty
on the
flat,
runway
these sort of high wings.
21.
Speedbird 902, November, Hahn Tower, good evening. Wind check 250 degrees, 5 knots, number 2.
You can see the AOA going up and down. This is such a great add-on. So good. Okay. Right, now I'm going to take out the auto thrust to land. So let's just stabilise that. And take out the autopilot because it's wobbling around too much for my liking. Yeah, it's pretty rough though, to be fair to it. Okay, we are recording. Let's give it our best shot. It's so responsive. It has so much power. It's quite impressive at these lighter weights. The only thing I find is the trim is a little bit difficult to do fine-tuned. You have to do very short blips of it. Which is true of real trims, I suppose. But yeah, it sort of holds it for a second longer than you expect. Minimum like that. Excellent. Now, there's no rad out call outs, I don't think. I think the engineer would have done it for us. Getting a bit high. Into the flare. Idle. Idle. Raising the nose. There's a bit of touchdown. Hopefully the speed brakes are up. And here comes the reverse. Love that big handle. And we were told long rollout approved. There she is. No, our speed brakes didn't deploy. What am I doing wrong with those? There they go. And we've got a long rollout. I'm going to go to... Can we take here? If I stand on the brakes? Is that Bravo 2? I suspect Bravo 1's at the end, actually. So let's go back to reverse. Forward idle.
On tower, good evening. Manta 78 Tango on the ILS from my 21.
And we can zoom right in on Hahn.
Last station calling, coastal only.
That was Charlie.
78 Tango.
So we were cleared by Bravo 2. So that's what we'll do.
Tango, Hahn Tower, good evening. Wind check 250.
Fantastic.
Number 3.
What fun. What fun. I hope you enjoyed that. There will be a replay coming soon. Thanks for the subscription to Lego. But yeah, what a treat. Thank you again to Inbuilds for bringing this to the sim. I think it's great. And of course, as the proceeds go to An-225, that's just fantastic. So I have no trouble recommending this as an add-on. I've really enjoyed it. And just shows you there, you know, you can do a bit of VOR tracking with it. You can, I think a cold and dark startup is possible, even if it's slightly simplified. But as you can see, you've got different APUs and all sorts, so loads more to learn on this aircraft if you wanted to invest more time in it. But plenty here if you just want to get going. It's just the autopilot you need to sort of get your head around.
Welcome to Hahn. Taxi via Alpha, Bravo 1, hold short, runway 21.
Alpha Bravo 1, hold short of 21. And Sopio 330. Oh, we're going to have to do a bit of backtrack. Bravo 1, hold short of 21. Brav, Alpha. Oh, hold on.
Antonov 330,
yep.
Wrong direction. Please make 180 and taxi to Bravo 1.
Apologies, Bravo 1, Antonov 330.
Intersection Bravo 1.
Bravo 1, 330. Okay, let's think. What can we do to fix this mess I've just done? We did so well. Paul says, great job, nice instructional on an NDB approach. Excellent. Thanks very much, Paul.
We're already at minimum approach speed, 78 Tango.
78 Tango, roger, and expect late clearance.
Okay, 78 Tango.
Are we blocking the runway? If we are, that's what I did earlier. You'll all remember seeing me do as we vacated. So he's going to get us to backtrack down the runway because we're not going to fit up that taxiway. Let's get the speed brakes in. Let's get the flaps up. we did so well. Full procedural NDB. NDB ILS. So we don't have any markings here, but I think that's Bravo 1 there. We can't be blocking the runway, surely. Unless we're expected to backtrack first too. Or is there other traffic? There we go. Very nimble for her size, Ziggler. Yeah, it's very good. No one saw anything. Indeed. Oh yes, we could have done reverse thrust. I don't think it would have. I don't think it does much. I have tried. What else to do? I think we're going to leave it alone for the replay. So our colleagues are following us in. There's one down. Let's have a think about what we're expecting to happen now. So backtrack.
Antonov 330, expect 5 minutes for backtrack.
Copy, Antonov 330. Has 30 wheel steering, indeed. I'm not sure what route we were supposed to take there, or what I'm expecting to take. Unless we're going to go to apron 2. I think that's the cargo apron here. You know,
Tango traffic is about to vacate. Wind 250 degrees, 5 knots, runway 21, clear to land.
Runway 21, clear to land.
Like I say, this is probably very normal
for November,
for Antonov crews or 225 crews to just sit around because it's such a big aircraft. This sort of thing will happen all the time, I'm sure.
902 November.
You too, you're welcome.
Yeah, this is the life you'd lead. Victor asked, is the NDB the only approach? No, it was an ILS, but the NDB was used to get onto the ILS. That's how I ended up doing it. There was RNAVs available, and you'd probably be vectored if there was an approach controller. Indeed, it is pretty big. Happy Pappy. Hayden J. Roberts, thank you so much for the £2.25. I see what you did there. See what you did there, comrades, Hayden. Hayden, thanks so much for the £2.25 super chat. Really appreciate it. I hope you're doing very well, and I'm not able to translate that because it won't copy and paste from my streaming software, but thank you so much, Hayden. Really appreciate the super chat. I hope you're doing well. I hope you enjoyed the flight. There's our other colleague landing. Yeah. Very cool. Really enjoyed it. Really enjoyed it. Oh, there you go. As Hayden says. Oh, there you go. Hayden translates it for me. It means victory to Ukraine. E-Corgi says, please take it through Mac Loop for fun. Thing is, I don't know how to do the Mac Loop in anything, even a fighter jet.
Seven 8 Tango, welcome to Hahn. Taxi via Delta, hold short of Alpha.
Taxi via Delta, hold short Alpha, 978 Tango.
Antonov 330, expect then Golf 1, taxi via runway 21, exit via Echo, backtrack approved.
Thank you, expecting Golf 1, taxi via 21, exit via Echo, Antonov Bureau 330. I was going to not wait and just go offline, but as the others flew along so kindly, so thank you to them for flying along, and the controller is here to look after us and has done a good job. I thought it'd be nice to we'll complete
7 8 Tango,
their puzzle
behind the Airbus A320.
Otherwise it'd be a bit like
crossing from
not landing,
right
wouldn't it?
To left.
Now how we get to Golf 1?
Then Alpha 1 via Alpha behind.
Oh, it's way up there. There we go.
Taxi 2 stand.
We're vacating
at
Echo.
Alpha behind the British Speedbird.
So we're going to get back on ourselves and then up into the apron. Let's go. The fans look out of place, but they're very much a part of this these generation of aircraft, that's for sure. Awesome. Just great. I love that they've done such a good job on the exhaust effects. I'm always impressed, especially with developers like AnyBuild, with with Microsoft Flight Simulator, the different things we're seeing happen. So that the high performance group have those missions available for the helicopter, which, by the way, I have had a little go on Hayden. So that's on the cards. That looks really fun. And then you've got like the exhaust done specially for this, and yeah, they're all solving different little quirks. It's just a shame Microsoft doesn't have some things built in. But there we go. This is serious taxi. So we'll go back on ourselves here. Happy Puppy wants AnyBuilds to make a Concorde. Standing on the brakes. Standing on the brakes. I think she's going to do it. There we go. 4 prawns is above a certain max takeoff weight. I guess you need fans. Yeah. Victor says this taxi speed would definitely get you grounded in flight school. So, yes. You wouldn't taxi a heavy aircraft like this down the runway at that speed if you weren't intending to take off. Agreed. For the exact reason as you just saw, which is, well, when do you know how to slow down? If you just start making it up at different speeds. So next question, Gulf 1 is left, first of that cargo section, behind the Speedbird. Oh well, I'm going to do it anyway. I don't know. I think that's what was expected there. Glorious. Just fantastic. Look at the rivets around the fuselage. This is what I mean. This is a proper model. It's not just there's nothing rushed about it. I do like this. This is the first time we've had parking charts that you can follow now that Navigraph have done this. Before, they were never loaded in. Well, Grex asks, would you cut the outer engines to avoid kicking up dirt and fog? Some of the heavy aircraft do, but they would usually be the aircraft that it would be on land after landing. Long-haul aircraft don't tend to shut down engines on the way out, so airports that have engines over the ground sort of have to put up with it and be designed for it. They're nice and high, and you would be very careful revving them. It might be the case that you'd perhaps only rev the inner engines to help with a situation like that. That's something I can imagine being the case. Good question, though. I don't know. It's the sad answer because I just haven't flown a 4-engine aircraft. Where's that strobe light? It's gone. Off. Oh, I was going to marshal her. Since when have we had marshals like this? Are they going to direct me properly? Yes, they are. Wow. What's that? Is that new? Are they going to stop as well for us? Ah, some marshals do that. Yeah, that little thing with the hands at the bottom. Oh. Oh, come on. I need to see them. They'd walk back if this happens, the real marshals. I get nervous because they walk back towards roads quite often. You sort of have to hope that they're going to be seen. They have got lots of high vis on. There it is, there it is. Ah, we're going to miss it. There's the cross. And there's our wheels on the subbar. That's amazing. Has that always been a thing? I've never seen that. Unless that's not new. I've been flying this for 3 years and I've never seen that in Microsoft Flight Simulator. How embarrassing. Right, that can stop recording. Thank you to the controller. Thank you to Hahn Tower for looking after us. Thanks.
Bye-bye.
Disconnect. Standard Microsoft Flight Simulator marshaller, but only appear if you park up with the standard AR-ATC normally. If it's the gate ATC assigned you. How funny. Well, wouldn't that have been quite a good coincidence? Right. So we're disconnected from that sim. Let's go. Let's put the flaps out. We're going to have a bit of a replay, obviously. Still didn't manage the old spoilers. Oh, let's let the wheels travel. Isn't it embarrassing to have without those? Flight dispatchers, enjoyed that. Thank you. Thanks for flying along, and thanks for watching along. A380 doesn't have those reversers because it doesn't need it. In the beginning, they tried to design it without reversers at all. Yeah, 380 has just inboard reversers. Reversers don't do a lot for a lot of situations. They're very good in the wet and uncontaminated runways. On dry runways in an aircraft like 320, we put them to idle. They're just there. Idle is good because it does produce a slight negative thrust or a slight reverse feature without revving the engines. But yeah, reverse is really only accounted for once you get into wet and slippery runways. So here we go. Idled it there, perhaps quite high. We had a bit of extra energy though. And there we go. Very happy with that. It's quite a... As I said earlier in the stream, it's predictable. It's nice. It flies like you would expect it to. Now here's a nice detail, which I hadn't had a chance to see yet. Watch those main wheels as we touch down. I'm going to whinge again about the spot view being atrocious. Why is it like this? Look at that. The back ones bend first. That's very cool. I was glad to see that because I wonder what it would be like. So the back wheels touch down. And then they all spin up there. Yeah. Very cool. Very cool. Right. Let's put it back on approach. Somewhere sensible. Something like that. And let's give you a nice camera view. What's going to be a good view for this one? That's pretty cool. I don't think there's any sort of cabin views that make much sense. Could do that. I quite like that one. What do you think? I think we'll go with that one. So, all there's left to say is thank you all so much for coming along. Thank you to AnyBuilds for helping us out, and thank you for producing this aircraft. It's yeah, as you can tell, I'm a big fan. Beluga in Microsoft Flight Simulator, please. And thank you to those of you who flew along. Thanks to the air traffic controllers. Thanks for those very kind tips and super chats. Really appreciate it. Thank you, of course, to the moderators for looking after us. Really very kind. And thank you to everyone who just watched along, chatted along. Really, really appreciate it. There'll be more video streams coming soon. Podcast. I meant to talk about the podcast, but this has been such a busy flight. So much to do with this fantastic aircraft. But yeah, next podcast should be coming out this week. So that'll be yeah, sort of 2 weeks since the last one. So that's about the schedule I'm hoping for. So look forward to that. And that will go up on Spotify first, and then eventually a video will go up onto YouTube. But it will always go onto Spotify first. So find it on Spotify from flight level 320, or just search 320 Sim Pilot, and you should be able to find it. And then you can follow, and then you'll get the new episodes and so on. Or you can find the RSS feed as well. But yeah, great. So thank you all so much for coming along. Keep safe and well. Have a great evening, and we'll see you again soon. Thank you. Bye-bye.